Hello everyone, and welcome back. A bit more WARNO League Season 6 action, as we're going to cover some of the final group stage games here. As next week we will go into the playoffs. We might still cover a couple more group stage games until then, but at the end of the stream today, we will gonna reveal the Division 1 advances, and until then, covering a bit more Division 1. I am going to cast alone today. Thorit's voice, unfortunately, is giving up a bit, so we will just see how it goes here in Division 1, and then, cover the advancing people in Division 1 and 4, and I believe 3 also already has its finalized, so a good couple of them already through. Division 2, we still might need some results from today. And yep, we are going in here with Fortitude fans versus ZXCVster. And before we jump in here, I just want to address that any kind of witch hunt mode against ZXCVster under the YouTube video and in the comments will not be tolerated. Like, the fight between him and Hippie, he already took away the strike. He already said that he is sorry for it. And obviously, if you believe that Hippie is always the blameless victim in his many dramas that he has gotten in over the years, I mean, you might need a reality check and touch some grass, guys. Don't just join a witch hunt of a random YouTuber online. And yeah, the this whole storyline is really blown out of proportion, and you really should check on what actually happened, or just going after hippie storyline of, oh yeah, this guy for sure wants to kill my channel and so on. So yeah, just that said beforehand. And yeah, let's see what we got here. Fortitude fans on the right side, for sure the favorite, really performing well this season so far. On the left side, we have Jeremy coming around with the blue forces of 4th Division, though. A really hot division. Picks and bans are relatively standard here. ZXCVster going a bit after Fans' top divisions. 6 Infantry Division, one of his best. 8 US division that Fans has played quite a bit lately as well. Fans coming in with double American here, 24th and 11th. But Jeremy is bringing around the Rügener Gruppierung in game number 2. 79th and 2nd. Yeah, pretty standard bands as well. 2nd division that Jeremy is pretty good with as well. And then Div Mob, a division that some people see as strong, some people see as mediocre. Gonna be interesting to see. Rügener for sure, an interesting pick there. But yeah, we have seen it in Division 1 every single season since it came out, I believe. So this is it showing up this season. Let's see how it goes. It has sometimes been able to throw people off, though. As Fortitude fans has played quite a bit with and against Soyaluskunta in the past, who is the master of Rügener. I'm not quite sure if Jeremy can catch him off guard there, but we will figure that out in game number 2. 4th Division here, coming around with Leopard 1 and else. We have a Leo 2A4B moving around here with the good penetration coming in as the triple tank. But on the other side, the 4th deployment being a Green Archer, a Bradley, an M1A1, some scouts, all coming around. We have some Engineer Dragons sitting behind the rear here as well. Voyage 58, the SS, an M1A1, Abrams, TP coming in as well. We'll move up towards Foxtrot and try to capture some points there. Whilst the south, there is a bit of blue force here coming for Charlie. M113 here also checking the sidelines, trying to get into the enemy rear. And yeah, the attack here will be from the red side towards Bravo. The forward or the recon deployment of heavy vehicles being the advantage here that 11th ACAF has over a lot of other heavier equipment divisions. So the Leo 2A force, they are at least pretty fast, but they will have to be careful to get there into a good position. But KCT Volcanoes, they are special forces. They at least have a light AT, but they are not really combat forces. You usually want to keep them as far away as possible from combat so that they can use their GSR cost efficiently. And then if the enemy light vehicle is driving around them, you get a shot out. Double IHawk here, so ZXCVster here worried about the old school Fortitude fans, which is the air mode. Fortitude fans has pivoted a good bit more into mechanized or even heavy armored play lately. Not as much air spam anymore. So, but obviously still capable of being the master of air. That's how Fortitude became a high-level WARNO player, and since then has branched out a good bit further, as the Leos here moving around. Light deployment here, but a deployment that should secure Charlie decently well. The big fight, though, that is going to be around Bravo. Whoever wins that fight will have a massive advantage from that point onwards. And LRS here going quite deep. We have some scouts. Infantry-wise, 2 engineered dragons. They are not that great again in infantry combat, but they are relatively cost efficient with their opportunity to hit enemy armor on a decent range and stress it out nicely. It doesn't really kill vehicles. 14 pen is not good enough to shoot to one-shot anything with armor, but it will stress them out. It will deal some damage, and against Leo 1s it actually will deal a decent amount of damage. F5s here coming around immediately. That's a bit of a weird choice. Not liking that at all, especially if you already open up double Eyehawk. That F5 opener, yeah, with the enemy side having OH-58s, they do their job. The OH scout goes down. That was a mistake here. Those F5As should not have been around at that point of the map. And the investment of the minute 1 take should have gone into reinforcements. It will be reinforcements on the other side. 2 green archers just securing the rear. And then a Milan 2 to try to solidify the position up here together with a Marder with Panzer Grenadiers inside. Yeah, double Eyehawks here getting into position. Leo on the way trying to get to the front line. That's the little helicopter. As the engineers and the M1A1s make it into the town. Only 1 infantry squad here for Jeremy. That is not a lot of fighting power. KCT Vercanners here on the side. So I believe these 2 should have been switched. The GSR one here on the side, getting the longer range recon, and the closer range KCT Vercanners that the normal Vercanners that have a bit more firepower and are a bit cheaper as well in the town. Whilst we see more Leos, more Panzer infantry coming in. That Panzer infantry here is key. Brings the Dragon 1 as well. As the Leo 1 and the Leo 2, they need to try to find some value here. They can overwhelm the M1A1. M1A1 has the better frontal armor, has the slightly lower penetration than the Leo 2A4, and obviously with 2 Leo 1NLs that can deal a bit of damage on the closer ranges as well. That can be a bit different as well. Oh, but the Engineered Dragons find a hit here. Leo 1... Or was it even the Bradley? It wasn't even the Bradley here. Yeah, the damage way too high for just being an Engineered Dragon, and the Leo 2A4B immediately going down to half-life. That is a big problem. There is a supply truck around. The TV in the middle goes down. LRS pushing on over here. Vercanners on the defense in cover. They can hold out decently well here, but now the Leo 1NLs getting engaged by an M1A1. This is not where you want to be. Next damaged unit has to retreat there. M1A1 CP coming in from the north. There is only a Leo 1NL coming up here. TOW 2 on the way, but not on the front line. TOW 2 vehicle here could have been a better investment than another Leo 1NL, and this is really where you can see the lack of that minute 1 investment. The minute 1 investment would already been here. Could have been a second Leo 2A4 or a bit more infantry to at least hold the line here, but the front line here currently in danger. F-16 coming in as a bit of a suicide jet. Gets an OH as well, so pays off price-wise. Gets the M1A1 ACAF and an OH. Also kind of weakens the OH defense a bit, but there is already an Eyehawk on the field, so that's not the only AA here needed. Cheetah goes down here as Leo 1NL under fire. Leopard 2A4B still getting repaired. Doesn't want to get into the engagement here directly, so the M1A1 gets away with more kills, and Leo 2A4B having to rotate around, trying to get on target. YPR under fire. Gets attacked by a good amount of ATGMs as well. YPR having to disengage. M3A2 forced to fall back here as well. Leo 2A4 engaging the scouts in the north. Getting some shots out there. F5 being used here once more, but with the Eyehawk already around, this is really dangerous. Eyehawk likely will find a kill here eventually. Or the OH do it themselves. Eyehawk will have another shot. And yeah, there we go. F5 goes down, so that was another run that didn't pay off here. Must have missed the Eyehawk shooting earlier. Against 2 AOHs, you can do that F5 run when you kill one. Chances are the other one won't get 2 hits on you, and you might get out alive. But now it's all a lot about this Leo 2A4B getting some good engagements. And with 2 Milan 2s here, Fortitude, together with all the Engineered Dragons, is set up quite nicely on the defense. M1A1 here, giving decent fire support. The south is secured, so full focus can be on this, but oh, Leo 2A4 immediately getting hit by some ATGMs here. And oh, it's the Bradley again with the TOW 2, and it might find the kill here. Routed Leo 2A4. Okay, does get away. It's quick speed, saving it once more. Can fall back to a resupply, but only having one of them at the front line, that's the big issue here in this matchup. You need 2 to reliably be able to deal with M1A1s. 1v1, the M1A1s usually will beat you, so you will have to try to get advantages, or you need ATGMs. The 4th Dutch has really powerful unit, but it is really reliant on getting its combined arms together. Its infantry is not that great on its own. Its Leo 1NLs can get overwhelmed as well. Its IFVs only have autocannons, they don't have ATGMs, so you don't get any cheap ATGMs outside of the Panzer Infantry with the Dragon. And those obviously don't really have the range. So the setup needs to be there to actually deal with those heavy armored units with your own heavy armor, or with a better setup of stuff like a TOW 2. LRS here won the fight against the Vercaners thanks to some assistance as well, so the situation here on the outskirt of the town is problematic. And yeah, good mechanized frontline here from fans. Martyrs rotating around south as well. We see the TOW 2 ATGM not finding the kill. That is unfortunate. Fans hasn't realized what happened there, but the line of sight is broken anyway. TOW 2 here not really in a spot to deal with the M1A1 either. LRS pushing forward, will try to find the situation. M1A1 here getting involved, Bradley getting involved, Leo 1NL. Yeah, the investments into the 1NLs didn't really make much sense here. Like in this matchup, you need your Leo 2s. M1A1s don't really get hurt by the 1NL. The Leo 1A5 or so maybe can do a bit, but the 1NL is not quite good enough. And then you can just play with Leo 2s and then some ATGMs plus the IFVs instead of the assistance there. Martyr, or no, even the Bradley goes down. Martyr goes down as well. So finally some important kills here. Leo 2A4 disengaging, but next Leo 1NL there goes down. Yeah, the killing power of the Bradley with the TOW 2 one-shotting those also makes them a good bit weaker here in this matchup than usual. Where, for example, packed ATGMs don't one-shot you there. And now we already have an M109 here hunting down the enemy units. Good movement here. TOW 2 making it out alive. Good couple of Martyrs shut down, but getting back into the zone is always pretty tough. The Dutch have the units to do so. +2 on this map is annoying. Ooh, nearly getting the supply helicopter there, but stress here too high for the unit to actually do it. And yeah, we have 3 Leo 2s now, including a Leo 2A4C, which outperforms the M1A1 by 1 penetration. And by being faster as well. But M1A1 here now getting involved. TOW 2 out of ammo. Needs to get out of there. Is able to get out there for now, but Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, pushing towards it. The next Leo 2A4 coming up. So now we have 4 of them, but there is little left as support on the front line here. 1 recon unit down here, Panzer Infantry here. But yeah, the investment into the 2 fighters, plus a couple too many Leo 1Ls. The 2 at the beginning, I'm kind of okay with. The reinforcing ones afterwards, those were not that great. And that led to, together with the pretty stern deployment and good management of the tank fights and the Bradley positions here from Pence to the position that we're in currently, where Jeremy is in a really tough spot. ZXCVster here in blue, struggling to stay in it. Really trying to get the Leo 2A4 ball online. We have seen that working out in the past. The double Eyehawk is still around together with Cheetah, so air defense is there. Recon is once more on the way here a bit, but that's still one of the biggest issues here. And pushing forward with the Leo 2s just won't be that easy either. The Milan 2's positions here, pretty key. It's an important infantry slot invested into this. You don't get that many infantry slots as the 11th ACAF, so investing 1 into the Milan 2s allows you to get the HGM positions here. And Fortitude fans is setting that up really well here all around. So, and 1 side shot will kill a Leo, so getting all of that set up, that is pretty powerful. Oh no, 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 no. Eyehawk in trouble. Yeah, we'll lose its transport. We'll have to run on its own afterwards. Milan 2 sees a Leo 2A4 there as well. Doesn't get the kill. Toe 2 here, nearly empty as well. As we see some reinforcements trying to come around from the side. And the +2 here, that is pretty nasty. We see more recon coming up. An MOR-10 to start taking out these HGM positions would be powerful, but for that, obviously, you first need to spot them, and that currently isn't the case either. So, Fence has more time of getting the defensive line up, is aiming towards the Eyehawk position where it is moving. More mech rifles coming up, more aircraft troopers coming up. We see an MOR-13 that he got through here, is running low on ammo, but is trying to get into a good spot for some ambushes here. Running low on fuel. Question is, it likely is going to make it. We'll see if it actually can make it. Oh, can it get the Jaguar? Nope. Doesn't even deal damage there. On the long range, Stinger moving around. With little happening on the front line, fans might have seen this. As the YPRs getting involved. O2 gets reloaded. Others being around as well. M109 has moved really close to the front line, so it will be highly accurate. But we have more M113s coming in here now to try to provide the recon for the big tank push, and that is what has to work out here. This tank push is what matters at this point. Gonna see how it all goes. Mortars coming in for smoke. As I would like one mortar is good. Protecting one flank with smoke is really powerful. Like smoking up here. I still would like an MOR-10 more than extra mortars here. The first Milan 2 goes down. Smoke popping off. Units need to disengage or... Okay, trying to get into range here to try to deal with the Bradleys and the Jaguars. Getting involved with the Jaguar over here. Bradley next victim. Smoking off as well. Good movement there. MOR-13 trying to get some spotting going. Leos have to be relatively aggressive here. MOR-13 smoking off. Is it in time? No, it's not quite. Slightly too late. Other MOR-13 in the rear got found by the Kiowa warrior now as well. As the next Milan 2 here gets found. And this is a lot of side shots coming around now. Mortars haven't been ready yet. So this is a bit weird that the attack comes now, and yeah, there is the first Leo 2A4 going down. This is the problem here. Panzer Infantry moving around, M1A1 getting involved. Kiowa Warrior with the amazing Hellfires coming around as well. The Cheetah can deal with that, but it is not with the Leos right now. So the Leos have to try to disengage, whilst now being up for side shots there as well. Bailout. Oh no, that is unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. And yeah, the infantry push here coming around. Timing with the mortars just arriving, as I said, a bit weird. Like, you would have wanted to smoke here or smoke up here before doing this. And with the Leo 2s being back to square one and number being down 2 or 3, it likely won't improve from here. Panzer Infantry pushing forward. Leo 2A4 moving around as well. And 1A1 gets the kill. YPR under fire. The units keep on moving here. Panzer Grenadier holding the line. Leo 2A4B getting repaired here, but no smoke on it. Mortars busy smoking the rest of the map, but the Leo 2A4 is just running in too good of a position. That push into it and the push out of Bravo happened a bit too early. And the 2F5s likely the issue for it. So that's the reason why all of that moves around. BO105, BB moving around in the north. Leo 2A4B getting in here. Milan 2, Jaguar 2 getting hit. And there we go. GG is called. And Fortitude fans doing Fortitude fan stuff now. The modern Fortitude fans. Back in the day, the 11th ACAF would have been an air spam out of Fortitude fans. He still has the repertoire to do that, but he also now has the repertoire to do what he just did now, of bringing around the mechanized push in really good execution, and that is why Fortitude fans now is scarier than ever. How the hell did that happen? Oh, I guess they got captured and then they got killed. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened there. The F5 here. This was the mistake that cost the position for good. Like, the investment in the south, to get the point, that is fair, but you can't invest into 2 iHawks and 2 F5s that early on and hope that you get away with it. You just will be too far behind on the ground if the 11th ACAF goes ground, and it went ground. So, and then once you're pushed out of Bravo, it's a really, really tough one to get back into. Cluster bomber here, that was fine. But yeah, the F5, that should have been a Leo 2A4, and then, as I said, the Leo 1 investments here were mistakes as well, and it was really good execution out of Fortitude fans. Like, those positions with the early recon units all around, no risks, but still taking as much ground as possible. And then the M1A1s, the Bradleys, all got into good spots and started to whittle away the enemy forces. Like, the Bradley position in general was fantastic. Those line of sights were really nasty and got a lot of action. And that game 1 here, going to Fortitude fans. Game number 2 coming up here in a second, which will be between the Berlin Command and the 24th. 24th being one of the OG divisions of Panzer, if I remember correctly, with the Strike Eagles and so on. Let's see how Modern fans is playing Modern 24th. The division for sure buffed back into a meaningful position. Whilst Rina Gruppierung, the division that always is interesting to see where it currently is. I don't believe it's that strong, but we're gonna see what we get out of ZXCVster with those guys. And here we go, game number 2, as we are going on into beautiful map of Mount River. And on the left side now, the ZXCVster bringing around the Rügener Gruppierung. On the right side, 24th Infantry Division coming around for Fortitude fans. And the matches will be happening here in the middle of the map, with the pointer here being usually the most decisive point. But if you take both of these points down here, that can balance it out. So we sometimes have big stalemates where one side holds this, one side holds these two. And Rügener Gruppierung is going to be really interesting. The opener has to land. If Rügener can take good ground, and against 34th, which doesn't have the strongest opener in the game, that can happen. Then playing defense from there is really solid with Rügener. Rügener is really good on the defense. It has issues capturing ground. It has a fortifier infantry with AT and satchel charges with the KSK. Has a couple of other assisting units like the Mi-8TB that brings a good amount of firepower as well. So that can all happen. But if you don't take ground early on and you are behind and need to push, Rügener is pretty hard to play. Before you jump in though, big shout out here to the Matcherino page, guys, where we will have coming around the another bit of flame code buttons here. We got more codes, so when you go to the Matcherino site, you can use these to add 25 cents to the prize pool immediately for free. We got more of them thanks to you guys being diligent about clicking the first few away, the first 50. You can do it again if you did for the first one. You can absolutely use the second one again, and that immediately adds 25 cents that will be paid out in real life money to players in the end of the tournament. And you also can contribute directly. Big thanks to Tali here being the latest with 30 bucks, getting us to $310 already. And yeah, thanks to all of you here helping out, getting us higher, guys. Well, We now go in with Rügener versus 24th, and Rügener on the left side here now really needs to nail this. Has a plane coming in, double MiG-23, OH-58's around, this time a bit further behind, only Kiowa dealt with. The two planes should separate a bit further. One going for one and the other one going for another OH. Then this can work out. Yes, it does. Chaparral might help out making it a bit more even. Yes, gets a kill here together with the OH. So 24th US getting the kill on one MiG-23, but this time around the air opener here a good bit better than in the last one. The two planes being used better. We still have a crook here on the bottom. And we have Phantom F4 coming around as well. MiG-23 flying in. Phantom under fire, getting a good kill. And we will see the Lee 6M trying to go after the OH. Chaparral finds the Lee 6. The Lim 6 getting a good kill there. The next MiG-23 here still can find the OH. It's still flying. Chaparral can't one-shot that. So OH should go down. With that air defense of 24th here, a good bit weakened. So more Lim 6Ms could come around. As we have Mi-8 MTBs coming around. We have F-15 Eagle trying to go in. Rooks and Rellas trying to go after the Eagle. Eagle being pushed back. MiG-23ML coming in once more here. F-15, big investment here. And the ground captured. This is where Rügener wants to be. Now Rügener just has to dig in a bit better. Doesn't even have to go to here. Has the center, has its own zone in the south relatively secure, so you don't have to risk too much getting Papa right now. Just have to be careful to keep your cohesion in the southern part of the map. Bradley here under fire. Only going after ZSU. Might get shot down there. Ah, fuck. The next ATGM is pretty slow, but Malyutka doesn't get the hit either. God, not able to get on target either. KSK disengaged there a bit. Else we have Malyutka P coming around. MiG-23 ML getting around against the Eagles. Eagles coming around in force now though. And this is the moment where you have to basically stop playing air on this map and take the ground you got and take the double investment into F-15s that the enemy made and play from there. With the Krug, you have a decent amount of stuff, but oh no, the Su-22, that was a misinvestment. Going harder into air at this point is a big mistake as Rügener, and that might cost ZXCVster here once more. Another MiG-23. Oh no, don't play air on this map. Like air opener, that air opener was perfect. Got the enemy to invest into double Eagle. If you never buy a plane afterwards, again, the enemy has two Eagles that can do little, and you just need to invest into the ground, but the lack of ground investment here is pretty bad. So this is a big issue. MiG-23 coming around. Yeah, and with the Phantoms and the Eagles, will just get shut down. You can't air spam Fortitude fans, and you can't air spam 24th that easily with the good combo of the F4E Phantom and the F-15C Eagle. And now you have to invest into all these air and AA units and can't invest into more ground units. Like this was the Su-22 cluster. That was the major misinvestment here. And that might cost ZXCVster the whole self here. And that was what this was all about. So with that gone, the point take lead here will be gone as well. And then we also will have Fortitude fans with a pretty solid combined arms on the ground here. Really big overstepping in the air there. Getting a bit cocky after the first couple of successes. And yeah, should have known the reaction. And forcing the reaction is a big win of its own. Forcing the enemy to buy F-15s and so on would have been a fine win on its own, especially on this map where usually air is super irrelevant in the late game. like this map we ever see. Whoever invests more into strike aircraft usually loses the game. And it seems like it stays true this time around because ZXCVster didn't stop using strike aircraft. Bradley does go down. Malutka P does go down on the other side. We have a Fagot coming in, trying to get into the fight here. Should unload further in the rear. You can't hold the zone now. +1 still taking up a bit here. Center is still under control, so you still can play this defensively. You have good infantry. You have the long-range Me-14 AT helicopter and a good couple of other nice tools, unique tools. You just have to give up the air and yeah, play careful with your crooks. Play careful with your infantry on the ground. Fagot deployment here on the correct spot. Second one should go into the church tower. That would be the correct spot here for the reinforcements. All of these units, yeah, need to go back. They're doing that right now. As we have Matcherino, SPW-70, and Matcherino BTR coming around towards the front line. ASK moving on in the north. Trying to probe a bit, but there is too much here already as well. So this is not a push that will likely work out either. ZBU2 can do a bit of fire support, but there's a Bradley, there's a fire team. So this northern part is secure as well. Really, the overinvestment into air here currently backfiring hard. But this game is not over yet. The infantry reinforcements here came at a decent time. The Strelas here all going down. That's annoying because helicopters are pretty good in 24th. You get a couple of Cobras helping you out and so on. But you can't play around that. National Guard, Apache. Rooks can't hit helicopters. ZBU2s actually can, but only at 2,100 meter range. And here comes a Phantom. Oh, Krug missing its first shot. Gets the Fagot team. Second Krug getting to aim now. And there we go. Big fireball. Getting the kill. And yeah, that's what should have been relied upon after that opener. And then good bit more ground units. There could have been 300, 400, or even more extra units, extra points of ground units here on the front line already. And then this fight would look completely different with 2 tanks and a bit of infantry here on the side of ZXCVster. But instead, for the defense, getting rewarded for the F-15 investment and for the good air micro, got out of the early stage of the air relatively decent as well, and used now the really good combined arms usage here of good pushing with the infantry, keeping the vehicles close up behind so that whenever there is an opportunity to get them through, they got through. The S-22 here will get the kill, but likely won't make it out alive. S-22's not being hit by a Chaparral, so actually it will get out alive. Okay. Matcherino here trying to hold the line. Holding this is absolutely key here for ZXCVster. Has to be careful in the north as well. And has to keep this line here open as well, this reinforcement line. So can't let the enemy take this uncontested. Milka P coming around is moving too far maybe though. Well, it's the T-55s and the SPWs now helping out with fire support. Kill over here was good. We now see an F-15 patrolling. Fortitude fans being ready for the next one. That's National Guard fire team leader under fire here as well. 55 AM. Getting some damage in. No tank on the other side, so they are pretty powerful at this stage. And yeah, here comes the Hawk. And that's where the loss of the 2 Strela teams will hurt, as that Hawk can do a good amount of work against the Matcherino and can maybe even kill some of the light vehicles. Won't do much against the tanks. Chaparral goes down here as well. Fortitude fans has to be careful to not get rolled over by the couple of tanks there. F-15s in the sky not doing much right now. M1IP is on the way again. The availability buff to this tank is the main reason why this division is back in business. M1IP now at its current price point of 230, and with its current availability curve, a really solid tank. And Matcherino and Phobos here trying to move forward. Hawk using up rockets on the Merida. That's not what you want. Good micro here from Fortitude fans, immediately turning off the rockets there. With a millimeter autocannon getting involved. And the lack of Strela teams, yeah, immediately being bought up again, but coming in a bit too late, and likely 1 or 2 infantry units here going down. Oh, the Hawk once more wasting rockets here, but not that many. Good micro here. Fantastic micro on these helicopters by fans. National Guard scouts will be spotted. Important to find them. Not that big of a loss though. Only 20-point units, but they gave great intel here, so still a nice find. Merida here in danger. Can't go over that open field. Has to disengage to fall back a bit. Whilst the infantry here now trying to come around. Rockets raining in on the Merida. Switching over to the infantry. Being depleted now, but has supply behind it. As the T-55 tries to find some value. Opening up against the Hawk. Apache National Guard with Hellfires is around now. Important to immediately smoke off here, but still might be caught out with this Merida here. The lack of anti-helicopter here pretty big right now. Mine clearing tool coming around. There we go. Will deal good damage against the infantry. Merida doesn't get hit by the first Hellfire, but does get finished off by the second one. Good kill here. Fire team 84s moving forward. SPWs moving around as well. Bella trying to come in. We have a good couple of Limb 6Ms coming around. First one crashing down. The others getting the kill. That is worthwhile. These are only 80 points. So it's not efficient per se, but it's also not super inefficient. F-111 cluster though coming around after the Krooks. Krooks did micro away. Good movement there, but one still gets caught out. So yeah, good targeting there. With the MiG-23s shut down, the aircraft of Fortitude fans can penetrate a lot deeper into the enemy airspace. That's why the losses there also do hurt extra. And now the F-111 clusters coming around, being pretty devastating here. UATs going down, ZPU, Strela all going down as well. And yeah, Bradley's on the defense here, holding the line. Whilst Fagots trying to get in, trying to get some kills. Kaiovas and Hogs moving forward, coming around as ZXCVster tries to get back in here. I believe that trying to back in here is a bad idea though. Like, the defensive play back here, that was important, but there is no way that after the losses earlier on, you can actually efficiently push back in here. The focus should have stayed on getting good trades here. The mine clearing tool does whiff this time around as well. That is pretty bad as well. Has quick reload, really good in these kind of engagements. But the enemy fire support here, pretty strong as well. Engineers all in a pretty good spot as well. Strela has to disengage. Phantom coming around as the next SU-22 cluster tries to get through, but will get shut down this time around. Krook not able to retaliate. This is now Fortitude's fans' game to lose. And really the opener did start good, but there was just too much attempted. The air just off. Rügener is not strong enough to just try to air bully through the way that ZXCVster tried to play it there, and yeah, maybe just wanted to avoid a normal game against Fortitude fans. The record of ZXCVster against fans isn't the greatest. Could not say it is pretty bad in tournament play. And so when you lose game one, you might just try to maybe throw a curveball there, hope that it sticks, but it just didn't work out here. And now the front line is collapsing in the south. The overextension here not working out. Gets a Bradley here, and yeah, as I said, I playing defensively around here, trying to get a good amount of artillery, trying to get the mine clearing tools around, setting up a couple more Krooks, and really playing defensive. I feel like that maybe could have worked out here as well. So the way it is now, there's just too much momentum going on for Fortitude fans at the front line here is just not capable of dealing with the kind of units that they have to deal with now. The amount of infantry, the helicopters, the F-19Ps, plus the F-111 clusters that don't have to fear anything really here either. Crew currently still out of ammo. So this situation not developing in favor of our player in red here right now. And yeah, Fortitude fans closing in here on getting out of the group stage. Victory here would guarantee that. So Spella's under fire. T-55 Ace trying to hold the line. SPW under fire as well. Likely gonna get killed. M1 IP attacking there. Hog trying to land. Getting out of there. Kiowa Warrior forced to fall back as well. Strela under fire. Yeah, there's just everything collapsing here at this point. And Micro-Range Tool number 2 coming around, but the momentum is completely against Rügener. And Rügener, as I said earlier, not good at getting momentum, not good at taking spaces. It's all about holding space early and then making it really obnoxious for enemy to push into you. And sometimes when you see an open space, you take it, but like pushing into the enemy, that's not really what you do with this division. And yeah, the pushes down here just not working out. The overextension already maybe started with the first push, and a really, really solid and clean play here out of Fortitude fans. The combined arms capabilities of this guy are scary and getting scarier. F4E here now coming in, like he still knows how to completely obliterate the enemy by air, as the F111 movement and so on here showed that perfectly. And he still also knows now how to obliterate you on the ground as well. And that Fortitude fans getting the W here and really positioning himself as a hot candidate for getting around and getting deep in the playoffs as well. Quarterfinal is secured now. And with this victory also, meaning that Team in Place, who just dropped a couple too many points on the way, will not make it out of group stage this season. Which is a bit of a shocker as well. But yep, this group was really, really strong this season. Bend over, Fortitude fans and Team in Place fighting hard for it. And yeah, just a really, really good show there from our North American group in this season. With that said, let's get into a quick break, and then we're gonna back with the next season series, which will include the current rank 1 player, BLA Star. So let's see how they will do in WARNO League. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to game number 2 of the day. And we have a really hot one here. Battling it out. We're seeing who gets first place in the American slash British group. They are VLA Star and Griffin 65. And both of these players really strong currently on the ladder. Really strong in tournament performances as well. And Griffin, the Dark Horse, the new face, directly seeded into Division 1 last season. VLA Star, the new one this season. So it will be interesting to see who comes out of top in this one. Mount River, map number 1. Both of these players, absolutely top level players. Both of the matchups here being really strong divisions against each other as well. This is current WARNO meta at its peak. Bands making a lot of sense here as well. 4th Division, WARNO first, 11th ACAF, all good on the 2 maps. 6th Leger, vision that VLA Star is pretty good with, and that's also really can be annoying. 5th Blind Day, 1st UK, with the tornado buffs and so on. Pretty scary one as well. So the 2 divisions that got through here, 2nd Panzer Grenadier and 79th, might be the top division currently in general. So top tier division here, S tier division matchup, and afterwards 2nd Guards versus Guzman El Bueno, the 2 new strong divisions coming up in the matchup afterwards. So first of all, the 2 old school meta divisions, and then afterwards 2 new school meta divisions up against each other. And Mount River here once more. We have VLA Star on the south coming around with a good amount of Vulture Makers, surprisingly many Vulture Makers, like 2 Vulture Makers and a Vulture Maker Führer, a couple of Milans here. The enemy side has Mi-24 helicopters that could be annoying, so this is somewhat risky. Besnat GIU Special Forces can at least hold spots as well. The Moderate Jetkov, the BMP2 coming around here as well in a decent force, so Griffin playing good around the south as well. And then we have 3 TO-55s escorting a T-ADPV IZD-29, so a lot of tanks here. On the other side, a good couple of tanks as well. Or Leo 1A1A1 with the 2 vet coming around here as cost-efficient tanks, similar to the TO-55. Since the nerf of the TO-55, maybe even a bit more efficient. Whilst we have a Jaguar 1 trying to control the way into X-Ray, and get a point lead created by the Vulture Mega leader getting through early. Might be relevant as well. CV for the north from both players as well, and no real force in the north here. So VLA Star could either pivot sound into X-Ray or could push up to Oscar, holding this part of the map. First looks pretty empty, but actually gives you a lot of initiative as well, being able to threaten 2 enemy points. And on the other side, the TO-55 ball is going towards the center, so that is going to be interesting to see as well. We might see a big tank clash up here, and the micro here on both sides will be really important. Looking forward to see what 2 of the best current WARNO players can do, and how their standing is compared to the old school ones, like Pro Commie, like Static. Like, where do they stand here? Vulture Maker moving down south. Vulture Maker Aufklärer moving in here towards Alpha. And we have the F-16A here coming around. This is here to check that there is no Mi-24 coming around for the Vulture Makers. Comes with double AM-9P. Pretty terrible air-to-air missile, but decent against helicopters. Only deals 4 damage, but with only 8 hit points, 2 of them still are enough to kill a helicopter. Not good enough to kill a normal modern fighter. And we have Rajvetkas here in the north getting out of the way. MiG-29 would wipe the floor with the F-16, but maybe not if the F-16 gets behind it. So the classic flying in the corner trick here coming online, where the enemy might not see you, and where if they buy a bomber, you can easily get behind it, and even if they don't buy a bomber, you still might be able to catch it. BO-105 here spots a lot when the south gets shut down, but still gets a decent amount of information here. Vulture Mega Aufklärers and Fallschirmjäger getting into a decent spot. The one in the two in the center here. Grabbing a decent amount of ground as well. Spetsnaz GIU disengaging. You don't want to lose it. You absolutely need this unit in this kind of opener. Only one other unit with decent spotting here with the Motostrelki. And it's the only unit with good spotting that can enable your tanks. We have the Jaguar 1 here immediately getting involved. MP1 PG can't smoke, so has to just take it. The Spetsnaz GIU should move with this though. Oh, and the SU-25 rocket actually falling for it. Oh, this should have been spotted on the way up there, but maybe Griffin was busy in the south spotting stuff there. And the F-16 gets rewarded, gets the SU-25, and the TADBV goes down in the center as well. Oh, two massive losses here early on for Griffin. Griffin now in a really, really rough spot. The TADBV, with its higher range and its better accuracy and good penetration, could have dealt with the Jaguar if it would have spotted it. But Spetsnaz GIU here moving completely out of position. Now, together with the Fallschirmjäger, with the Panzerfaust 3, the good AT weapon here, able to completely ruin the opener of Griffin. And Griffin now is in a lot of trouble. MTLBU coming around, capturing the ground itself, but this position now is really uncomfortable to be in. Igla needs to get out of there as well. Motrachetka moving around. The Leo ones getting into positions as well. Gas being sold will enable to at least buy a bit more here. On the other side, we have the first wave of cells as well. CV here going a bit far. Rajvetka getting the kill there. So Relay Star bit over Igor there. Means that, oh, this would have been big if this Fallschirmjäger Führer would have been shut down as well. Conquerors going up against the Leo 1NL. Or 1A1A1s, rather. Won't find the Fallschirmjäger Führer, so the center will be captured. And with that, the +2 will start here for VLA Star. Good early capture. We see Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer pushing in. But Svetka on defense. Both. Oh no, the Rashetka with 0 vet. Fallschirmjäger Führer. Aufklärer coming in with a decent angle. Has the good Panzerfaust 3 as well and finds another TO-55. Yeah, the Fallschirmjägers have done their job here with their good AT weapons. BMP2 not able to get a side shot there. TO-55 able to get some hits. Conqueror's in a good spot as well, so the Leo ones have to be careful. Oop. Getting a kill against the F-16, so couple of decent kills here in a row for our player in red. Gets a Leo 1 as well, but loses the T-55 for it, and BMP2 does go down as well. Conquers here in the middle, trying to get another shot. Next smoke being well microed. No supply directly with this, so that was, I believe, the last smoke for this. Once we have another TADB, IZD coming around for the front line, but the northern zone holding out, and the kill of the F-16, the kill of a couple of the tanks in the middle here, at least keeping Griffin in the game. Griffin bringing forward to TADBV. That can do a good amount of work here as well. Next BV IZD coming in too. Well, it's the first one about to arrive. Can keep up speed-wise with the Leo 2A3s. And has one more frontal armor, one more hit point, losing 1 penetration. So a really even fight between these two. The Argona missile, a pretty capable one as well that you get with these. And obviously you get more tanks of 79th in total. But the quality of tanks on the side of Benson are pretty decent as well. Spetsnaz GIU now trying to push here in the south, trying to find some line of sights. They're 1NL assisting the situation too. TO-55 helping out, but the Jaguar gets a line of sight. Oh, this is bad. TO-55 does go down. Oh, quite unfortunate that that line of sight actually worked out here. The MP2 at least helping out, pushing back the Fallschirmjäger for now. Getting the kill there. So the Leo 1 A1A1 might not quite make it through here. Both sides still losing units. As the Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer pushing forward. There is a TADBV IZD on the way now here too. No infantry though. The infantry numbers being so low right now, relatively annoying for Griffin. And really has to consolidate the forces a bit better. M109 coming in here for VLA Star. Interesting that the M109 is the artillery piece of choice. It is a good bit cheaper than the M110. It also does reload a bit quicker on the same veterancy level, but 0 vet here, so difference there actually not that big. So in a deck where you have the M110, using the M109 is an interesting choice. It's still a pretty capable artillery piece though, and it will be interesting to see how it will play out here. BRDM conquers, getting involved against the Gepard. Good reactions here. Immediately smoking off. They're 1A1s. Getting around. The TADB VIZDs now though, rotating south, but the lack of recon here. That is really bad. They're 1A1 might reveal itself here. The helicopter didn't move into a position to actually spot it though. So it gets 3 shots. We don't have a supply truck here either. We have a Ural in the middle that could help out. ADBV IZDs now moving in on their own though. M109 going after the Conquerors. Conquerors now trying to get out of there. See what goes down in the north. Conquerors likely going to live here now. Yes, they're going to live. 109 not being one vet here, being slightly slower in between shots. Might have cost him the kill. That's Panzer Grenadiers pushing in the north though. That's a new issue opened up for Griffin to deal with. So Griffin will have to decide how much to invest there. TADP being the choice. Lamia and Saperi RPO moving in for the southern engagements. Else we see Modredredka moving around. They're 1A1s moving in here. Conquerors moving around as well. Besnet's GIU pushed back. MTLBU having to retreat. A good couple of recon units here in the south coming up as well. BBV will rotate. Conquerors trying to land a hit against the Leo 2A3. Won't do so. Spesnet's GIU getting shut down. And yeah, Griffin here in trouble. This is not where you want to be here, but Griffin, good enough player to might be able to make it back. And the BMP2 here will open up against Panzer Grenadiers. Needs some assistance from the rear. PRM1 and co coming around. The capabilities of outscaling the enemy in mechanized forces in the late game, that for sure can be a comeback, but you need to reduce keep it at a +2 maximum here. Can't afford to let the enemy get to a +4. If that happens, you are basically cooked. The ADBV IZD did move up north again. BMP2 might reveal itself here in a second to the Leo 1A1. That wouldn't be good. Gets the route, and the TADBV IZD finally gets a kill there. Okay, important kill. Rajvetka here, important as well. Helping out being the enemy. TADBV IZD now getting involved with an ATGM against the Martyr. Both sides whiffing their shots. TADBV IZD falling back. Leo 1A1 falling back as well. Panzer Grenadiers being spotted now. On the fire. Only 6-man squad, so can clear those guys up relatively quickly. We have a Milan 2 here in a good position. Unit stand down. 2 TADB VZDs can shoot it down over time, especially with Flamia. The Rajvetka being around again, helping out there as well. Seeing this as Milan 2, I don't believe tracks anymore. Nope, doesn't. And Grenadier in the north gets shut down by the TADB. The north does hold out as well. MTLBU on the way to get the whole zone back. Yeah, the reinforcements going into the middle instead of the south now. With the Plamia, with the Saperi. That was an interesting choice. Saperi already gunned down. believe got killed in transport. KDPV is trying to generate speed, more action here. Trying to get some kills. Is using its ATGM now against the Jaguar. Jaguar with 6 frontal armor. Would get one-shotted and will get one-shotted here. Well, the TDBV IZD does live. Milan 2 here getting another hit. I don't believe it has smoke anymore, so it just needs to run here. Lamia will get involved. Leo 181 coming around to try to deal with that. Oh no, track's broken at this position. Or the BRM could help out with smoke. BRM is pushing forward, trying to get into a position where it can smoke. TDBV keeping away the other guy. BRM needs to smoke. Ural moving forward. No usage of smoke here right now. Leo 283 coming around. The BRM could smoke for this unit, but everybody is retreating. The TDBV is given up. The BRM could have smoked that off and let it get its tracks fixed. Mistake there, I believe, by Griffin, but at least keeps the other units alive. Oh, good artillery fire with the M109. And the tank numbers here not escalating up for Griffin, and that's where you want to be. You want to get 3, 4, 5, 6 ADBs out. Once you get over the number 4, then chances are you will have more heavy tanks than the enemy. Leo 283s, you get 6 basically as well with 1 vet with the leader card plus 2 Leo 283s on the normal card. Bonkers here getting involved against the Jaguar, finding the kill. The MP2 helping out, but also has to be careful. Rajvetka gets shut down. We have another Leo 283 arriving here in the south, and we have currently the +4 that I was warning about earlier. BMP-1PG goes down here as well. KDPV IZD in the middle did die too. The IZD over here having to fall back. We have the new TADB, but yet the attrition rate here just a bit too high. 79th not quite getting its combined arms onto the battlefield. Ooh, conquers. That might be big. Yes, finds a Leo 283 kill. Okay. That might give hope. Mod Rajvetka here could open up against the Leo 283 in the middle as well. Would need assistance. TADB IZD coming around, helping out. That would be big. Conquers does get found out. Should have retreated in a different pattern. Still, the trades here lately not great for Griffin. Could help out now the whole thing. Mod Rajvetka missing 3 of their 4 shots on those ranges. Oh, they could have been so critical here. Any kind of crit, and that would have been a really bad position to be in. Coop goes down to the seat. Tornado seat basically opening up the air for the next target. Yeah, Harrier coming up. Coop still being around, but Leo 283 here escaping. Couple of really unfortunate shots there. The first one, I believe, would have been a side shot, and then the Leo 283 could have easily been hunted down by the TADB. Instead, TADB here is the one on the lower hit points now. And has to be careful with another Leo 283 around the corner. Good hit with the Agona missile. Me-24P doing its job as well, but the TADB gets found now. Good maneuvering there. CV does go down as well. The siege into the middle here does not quite having enough force behind it. The Leo 1A1s and the Leo 2A3s can always disengage again because the TADBVs and Bs just aren't quite numerous enough to one-shot kill stuff. The ATGMs also not getting overwhelmed and just shut down, but instead get a shot out and then can disengage after. F4F coming around here as the Coop got killed off by the artillery. BLA Star here really playing a fantastic second Panzer Grenadier, and the BRM1 going down as well in the matchup here between 2 of the best divisions currently in the game. Divisions that we see often banned. And the Milan 2 and the Leo 2A3 here coming in or trying to get another kill. Leo 2A3 does have its tracks broken. Good chances to finally get another kill there. The issue is that the +4 will finish this game in a short while, so that is the big issue here right now, that this would have still be a +2, the situation here might still be recoverable at this point even, but without that, there's no chance. And yeah, VLA Star with a 2-1 KD here. It felt dominant. It didn't quite feel that dominant, but yeah, really hunting down TADBVs from the get-go. Like the first couple of kills already a disaster. The SC-25 going down to the F-16, the TADBV going down to the Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer and the Jaguar 1, tag teaming it. The Jaguar getting the TO-55. Like at this point, the game plan of Griffin already was in the dumpster, and like VLA Star just heaping up the fire and not letting Griffin here recover. Really, really strong show with 2nd Panzer Grenadier. Also showing why this division is currently considered one of the best, but so is 79, so it wasn't just a division win here. And in the end, a deserved 1-0 here for VLA Star. Question is, can they do it again in a matchup where their opener might not quite be as powerful, with second guards Motostrelki versus Guzmanel Bueno on Eiche? Interesting to see how these two players will play one of the newer maps here. And yeah, quick break, and we're gonna be back with that second matchup. And here we return. Match game number 2 here in the second match of the day. As we have Guzman, El Bueno, or Griffin on the right side. On the left side, we have second guards, so NATO and Pact switched between the two sides. And two of the newest divisions here, two divisions that are ranked as really, really capable coming up against each other. And the divisions play pretty different. Guzman El Bueno, a lighter infantry division that wants to be fast. It's not quite div mob. It has a lot more fire support with a lot of grenade launchers and so on. It is a good bit, but with M47s and M48s, it is all about getting cost-efficient, older tanks into the action. Whilst on the other side, we have a really, really strong, high-class motorized division from the Soviet Union with quality tanks, T-72s, T-64s, and the best TDU with quality IFVs and APCs, BTR 80s, and the BMP2 coming around here. Decent support for all of that as well. Good aircraft on both sides. So this should be pretty interesting. Before we jump in, once more, quick shout out to the Matcherino page, guys, where you can assist with the crowdfunding of the whole tournament. And with the claim code button being open up again, with 34 codes remaining, you can assist completely for free. All you have to do is going to the link and click the claim code button, and it adds 34 cents to the prize pool. Thanks for Baron's Flame, Blood, and the Helen, Ice Move, Starbreaker, Woofer here coming in already today. And yeah, the faster we click through here, the better the chances are that we might even get a third one here and get even more free money into the prize pool and in the end into the hands of WARNO players here. And these two here both having a pretty good shot at making it there. But let's see who will make it in this game. As Griffin here on the right side has the Unity coming around, bringing them with one vet. So Chloride will be happy. Has in the north the Recon M47. This is the one with the heat shells and the strong VEC-25. So the recon tab of this division, really powerful. The Spanish recon tabs in general, pretty good. The follow-up there behind those is the interesting part, though. How do you deal with these high-quality T-72s? The 18 frontal armor T-72s here, 72 B1, 84. Only the Vilk has better stats with the Era giving it an extra hit point. And good penetration rounds as well. And then we have the Mod Radwetka in BMP1s. We have the Spets Radwetka here with GSR and the BTR-80 coming around. And the Mi-24K here, which are surprisingly annoying to deal with for Guzman El Bueno because you don't get the man-pads. And that means that you only have the AA guns, and AA guns can push back helicopters. And obviously, if the enemy isn't microing, they still can get the kill there. But often, if the enemy micros with a Mi-24, they can keep the helicopter alive against AA guns. And then come back, get another rocket run and later on a better flank and do the damage there. So this should be pretty interesting here. Unity, the Taridoris coming around as for deploy sniper units. We have Fusileros with as the CV here, Fusileros CV with smoke. Infantry squads here in this division, pretty powerful. None of the grenade launchers here in the opener. Firehawk in the south with the heavy investment into recon firepower. 2 M47 E1s and a VEC on either flank. The recon opener here is supposed to gain the ground on the flanks for Griffin. Griffin is trying to play this completely as a flanking game, giving up on the point where you usually see the fights. Dimitri here on this plateau is usually what it is all about, where you usually see the engagements in this forest here and around the village. But both flanks together are also equalizing the center, and obviously give you more room for maneuver. So with the lighter division, trying to play it wide here makes a decent amount of sense as well. It's just the question, where do you get to engage the enemy? Because on the long ranges, the T-80s and the T-64s will dominate you. Su-15 here coming around. Terrible against helicopters. Only has the two R-60Ms there to try to engage them. But relatively efficient against planes with its 2 long-range missiles. And still can attempt to try to shoot out the HR. HR getting really, really deep into the enemy line of sight. R-60 gets the first one here. And the HR getting all the information. Priusa in the middle as the AA. We have a Santana with a BMR here holding center. BTR getting shut down. Santana rotating around. BEC going deep, knowing that it has a lot of space here. The HR making it through alive. And the one in the north also getting enough information to know that the M47 can go ham. BEC 25 going deep. The MP2 is setting up to defend against it though. The move has been spotted. GT do go down in the center. B24K there doing its job. Nighthawk not that great against it. Pegaso moving around, trying to get on target there as well. BMP1 getting engaged here. M47E1 not even strong enough to one-shot a BMP1, but forcing it back here. BEC has to be careful with the Mi-24 coming around. It has two 23mm gun pods next to its rockets, so the BEC can't really fight that. And the Pegaso should follow this, but it is currently not. So these guys should find the VEC and push it back. The BTR in the north... No, wait. That's the helicopter, right? The BMP... Yeah, has to be careful, though. Might get caught out here. VEC not dealing any damage just yet. Gets to deal damage now. Relay Star realizing it in time to not lose the unit inside, but will lose the BMP2. VEC smoking up, though. Mistake. Could just have finished off the guard. Let's see there immediately as well. BTR-80, next unit under fire here. As we have a T-72 and a Briusa coming around. Killing off the BTR-80 here, which is a recon unit, is pretty important as well. And the Guarezzi actually can disengage and can stay around. M47s here trying their best as well. Santana has to be careful as the Matcherino push in deeper. T-72, one of them though did die in the center here, so the wide play of Griffin working out decently. Could go to center now. There is currently nothing stopping this Fusilero leader from getting to center, getting a tick online. In the north, the M47s have to be careful though. Good helicopter rotation here. Mi-24K and Mi-24V rotating back up north. Really abusing the AA deficits of Griffin's division. Whilst the Bellajor here, realizing that the enemy has nothing there to immediately get them, pushing deeper. BMR PP with the 50 cal, pushing back the Spetsnaz Redka. The Fusileros can finish the job, can push in closer here as well. Oh, Gardezzi Medis against the first battle tank showing up here. M48 A5E2. That's the one that actually gets good range, decent penetration, can do a bit against the T-72, but mostly still supposed to deal with BMP2s and BTRs and then help out with the fire support. But the Gradezzi Medis there holding him off nicely. Spetsnaz Redka going down. Same time here, T-72 still holding the line in the south. CV hasn't moved in there just yet, as the VEC trying to spot the enemy here in the middle. Should not get there yet. Falling back a bit again. Watch Redka here in a good spot, spotting it. Valeros T90 moving around. BTR 80 will be killed off by the BMR. Valeros pushing forward. Will likely find the Bellajor here as well. But let's see. In the building, can hold out decently against them. Pegaso can't really assist as the cluster bomber does miss. Oh! Big mistake here. Genital did lose line of sight, and the cluster bomber completely whiffs. BMP1 here against the M47. Does get the kill, doesn't get killed in return. M47 failing there, and the T-72 printer does continue. Belojor does make it out alive as well, as the M48s here in the north coming in. Next Pegaso being shut down. Fusileros and Genital engaging further here, as the BMP1 gets involved as well, kills the Pegaso. The helicopter in the south goes down. BEC trying to push around, but there is the Modrachvetka, there is the T-72. This move won't work out. Modrachvetka with the RPG-22, yeah, finds the kill there. Unite trying to get on top of the T-72. T-72 is getting a bit over-eager here as well, but realizing its mistake, falling back, and will be able to disengage there. Not to lose a spotting there. The M48 in the south runs into a T-72 problem as well. But Modrachvetka there spotting nicely, and will get shut down too. And now the momentum here is waning for the El Bueno division. When the T-72 numbers get too high on the battlefield, you are in trouble. The double 1000 kilogram bomb HE bomber though, doing its job, finishing one off. These are the kind of kills you need here right now. It's a shame that it took the second one to come around there. But yeah, important kill there nonetheless. Santana goes down. Next helicopter goes down, and good move is here from VLA Star. Really powerful push here now, assembled in the center. Boleros can do little. The M48s here can hope maybe for some side and rear shots, with the Terradorus enabling them. If you shoot down the AA, like focusing down the OSAs could be a idea towards success as well. Then you can use the planes again. Yeah, second good HE bomber here coming around. Going after the Priusa. Does fail to hit though. Two of these kind of misses Griffin just can't afford. First the cluster bomber, now the HE bomber whiffing on their target. And this one even getting heavily damaged. The Santana going after the Osa, that would be a good kill. Finds the Osa. But yeah, now the HE bomber in the north. That would be big now. Now the HE bomber for the T-72 in the north. Then the M48s could come around, clean up house maybe. But they aren't around anymore. The cluster bomber might be back soon. Mi-24s here still rotating well. Really, really good micro on the helicopters here by VLA Star. And Griffin under pressure. M48s trying to get into a better spot. Shooting down one or two reinforcement units here would be big. Nighthawk here in the north in a really interesting spot as well. Can't really disengage away from there. As we see the Priusa being fired upon. Santana failing to hit this time around though. Radium Conquerors fails to do so as well. Cluster Bomber finds another T-72. Yes, those are the kind of victories that you want here. The M48s, they have 50 cults, so this Mi-24 is a bit too deep. Gets shut down. Second one now coming around. And the M48 does have smoke. Can disengage. So, can get out of there. Next bombing run here set up with another one of the C-14s. Doesn't have a line of sight right now though. M48 here in the middle. Getting bullied a bit by the Spetsrodredka. Spetsrodredka being the next target, but already moving out of the building. Already pushing it forward. Not even finding the Igla there. And yeah, once more a whiffed bomber like this. And you just can't afford them. Like, those can one-tap T-72s, but not if you just let them hit the middle of nowhere. Like, those blind bombing drops are something that you only should do when you're really desperate. And I don't believe the game is right at that point yet. So Griffin really should wait for more valuable targets that he can keep an eye on for these kind of runs. Might start to get desperate now, because now the reinforcements come in, and now he hasn't burped the T-72s in a while. Okay, has another cluster bomber that can do it. This time around does at least hit. Doesn't quite finish it though, because good micro there on the other side, and might lose the cluster bomber here. SU-15 does miss. Ihawk gets involved. First one does get a hit. The northern one is out of ammo, so won't assist. The AA guns not doing their job either. And Zaleros here in trouble. BC coming up. B-72B will deal with these infantry units. TV in the north does go down. Santana not finding the BMP2 there. And got Aurelios coming around, trying to hold the line. UCV being able to get in on this little covered spot. Will get the 2-point zone and will get the take back. But Cluster Bomber needs to find a hit here now. 72 this time. Oh no, loses line of sight again. Okay, finds it last second. Doesn't get the kill though. And does get shut down. AA good enough now. Ooh, sniper here. Actually might find a Mi-24. Does deal good damage shot by shot. Okay, Relay Star realizing that this is not optimal. And the Mi-24 still is alive there. But let's see, moving around. TV gets back into the center, stops the take. The arrows have to be careful with the Plamia. Can't just push that. And yet, lack of luck. Grenade launchers. Pretty interesting here as well. They are pretty decent against BTR-80. They are really good against the infantry. And yeah, you need to deal with a lot of T-72s, so a lot of ATGMs and so on makes sense, but completely playing without them right now is still a bit weird. Early arrows trying to get towards the center here. They don't have an AT weapon though, so they can't do anything against the T-72s. And that is the real problem now. Now the front line has solidified nicely here. Power play on red. Power play on red also is ahead in point by now. Relay Star up 250 points. Exactly. And the flanks are relatively secure as well. No real force in the south. Even getting an artillery now. Starting to deal with the enemy ATGMs. Ooh. The 8 trucks going down, so the helicopters have a bit more room again. And yeah, the T-72 number now. 3 of them on this hill alone. That is a big problem. M48s just can't deal with that. Your Fusileros with the C90, they can potentially do a good job there, but they have to get into a decent range, and without you getting a good foothold here in the center and the north, that just is going to be tough to create. Like, losing the entrance into the city in the north might be even more painful than losing the one into the center right now. Bolero leader here getting overwhelmed as well, and just not enough AT weapons here. Is a Genite with some C90 CRs with decent penetration, but only one, so it will get overwhelmed as well, and yeah, they just get overrun here. Only deals 1 frontal damage frontally. Let's see, moving around. See more M48s coming around. See the heavy artillery trying its best, but the airplanes just not finding their mark here. That is really what keeps Griffin back now. If the number of T-72s would be 2 or 3 lower right now, the situation would look a good bit different. But targeting there just a good bit off, and that the snowball of the center here going really strong for Relay Star. And second card's showing why it gets banned a good amount lately as well, and why it is considered one of the better divisions currently as well. A mix of relatively reliable infantry, but let's see, getting the Resolute and so on. Getting decent AT launchers is not the best at infantry fighting, but you get the Plamias to assist with that. And then you also get good support inch form of all those tanks and so on. And Guzman, yep, it's a tempo deck. And once the tempo is gone, you're in trouble. And the tempo absolutely is gone. The flanking ideas were solid. One in the south did fail maybe a bit too easily. And then the planes that tried to abuse that the map is wide and that the enemy can't have OSAS everywhere and doesn't have any coops, they just didn't quite get the nail into the coffin. And now second guards here is pushing forward, coming out of the coffin and just pushing it through here. PMR getting overwhelmed. T-72 engaging in the center there. One goes down on the south. The C90 is still dangerous. Tight shots kill you in no time. It's an 18-pan quick firing AT weapon, so yeah, getting a good couple of kills there. But you need more than just a single T-72 at this point. Another one. Those are starting to become important kills here again, but we have two T-64s already on the way. If the M48s here maybe can do a bit more, then there might be hope. The big M48 wall, if they can actually achieve something. But Fusileros here now pushing on their own. 11 hit point squad, so relatively tough to kill. Good artillery against the Milan 2 here as well, though. And the south is falling. iHawk is getting overrun. Too much of the support equipment getting killed off here right now. Stuff that you just can't afford to lose. Atalado, little support helicopter, getting overwhelmed as well. Pegaso under fire. As we see the BMR coming around, trying its best. Arrows pushing forward. Smoke trying to do its best there as well. M48 rotating around the battlefield. And there goes the Bellageur, taking the southern zone. Will make it now. +3. 2 AA planes here coming around. Having to dive deep there to kill off that helicopter. OSAs doing their job. Killing the first one, might even kill the second one. Nope. 2 whiff there. But T-14 also not around to immediately jump onto the OSAs. Timing there a bit off. Lero in the south gets killed off. As the M48 blob now has found a new home. Is trying its best to overwhelm the T-72. Is doing a decent job there, but not quite killing it. And a good micro there on the other side keeps them alive. Even gets another shutout there. And all the infantry has been dealt with. Next T-72 here around. Yeah, you just never can let the enemy get up to 6-7 tanks like this. But also not being ahead in points in this matchup. That's just not a recoverable position. And it will not improve here for Griffin at this stage. M48's here trying its best. They are, as I said, a pretty capable tank, relatively cost efficient, really comparable to a Leo 1A5, have better frontal armor, don't have the stabilizer, are a bit slower. But good accuracy, good gun, and the extra frontal armor helping out. So really a good little tank, but just not good enough to deal with the high frontal armor T-72s here in numbers. And especially not if they're micro like they are by VLA Star, who really shows why they are currently ranked 1 on the ladder and really playing this division to the finest level. The Acacia coming around, trying to get onto the BRM. The M81, not quite getting it. Viradoris moving forward. Boleros heading around as well, and MiG-21 cluster. Oh, oh god. Yeah, this is the GG moment for good. Killing off 3 tanks, killing off a good couple of BMRs as well. Fantastic cluster bomber hit there. What Tretka getting the spotting for it. And yeah, MiG-21 cluster.
It was at this
Devastating as
moment that
always.
Nathan knew. He fucked up.
This was brutal. And with that, Real A-Star really solidifying their spot now as the top dog, the favorite for the rest of the tournament. Like, this is the guy to beat for the playoff stage. We will have a lot of good players there to do so, but it will be interesting to see if anybody is currently on the level of our player in red, because Griffin here in the series didn't play bad, didn't have the best openers in both games, so obviously that always makes it a good bit tougher. And yeah, a couple of small mistakes and you are just not going to make it against a good player playing a solid division like Relay Star here. The mechanized division's just doing too good of a job here right now, keeping it together, and Santana, Milan, they're now going down. The KD once more will be really devastating, though. This is more so due to how the divisions look than the performance in the late start here of Griffin. If you get out of the tempo, you just don't have a chance in a matchup like this as Guzman. But if you get into a tempo, it can look really dominant with Guzman as well. Guzman, for sure, is a good deck. We still haven't quite figured out how good it is, but like, is it an A tier division? Is it a high B tier division? I'm not quite sure. It has for sure a lot of solid things going for it, and the bombers for sure are pretty crazy. My win record with it is really good, but I also haven't played against the top players with it. But I believe I'm currently like 8 wins out of 9 games with it. So it's for sure a fun division to play around, but maybe not quite the top one for a map like this, where mechanized warfare still oftentimes wins out in the end. And Relay Star here now with the safe +4, and with the killing of the 2 important bombers here in a position where Emi can do really little about that. RPP sitting around to the north, trying to get the luck on target. Like smoking off. MP2 trying to get involved. Artillery getting around. User getting a good kill there. Yeah, showing why Guzman can be good. Those 203mm cheap guns, just like in Div Mob, just like in 152nd, can do a lot of work, but it's not easy to get them there. And yeah, GG is called. Real A-Star once more with a really commanding lead in points and KD, and will be the one to chase in the playoffs. So it's gonna be really interesting to see who can touch them. And yeah, that said, we have more group stage games to cover. So quick break, guys, and then we're gonna be back with the next month. Griffin still, I would say, has good chances as well, and in a rematch with a bit more knowledge about how VLA Star plays, and with a bit better openers, the situation might turn around there as well. But this is really, really top level WARNO. Like, this might be the on a similar level to someone like Skific or so. Not playing as aggressive, but playing really, really controlled and powerful, like top level, prime time, Pro Commie or Skific. I would say are comparable here, but this is scary looking. Like, if you get Relay Star in the ranked ladder, you know you are in for a tough time. So quick break, guys, and then we're gonna be back with game number 2. Not game number 2, series number 3. Will be Darkneutron versus Bloody Knight. here we go, everybody. The next little matchup here. Bloody Knight versus Darkneutron. And we have quite the matchup here once more. Two Leo 2 divisions battling it out. Darkneutron on the right side in red, bringing around the second Panzer Grenadier versus 4 Divisier in the hands of Bloody Knight. So, two top divisions for two players that have made it deep in the past, that maybe aren't quite on their top level right now. And that will be in a pretty good matchup here. Mount River, first map, second map, 8 US, really seeing a revival versus second guards. So Vertigo being the map there, with Darkneutron always picking Vertigo. Like, Darkneutron knows that he is a player that might not be quite up to the latest matchups and metas. So picking the old maps here, time and again. Bans, Eiche, Thaler, Stoneware. So all the new maps getting out of there. And then 119th, 9th Panzer, and 79th, really anti-Bloody Knight. Big bands, Bloody Knight, Cheesh, and so on. Playing a lot of heavy tank and mechanized divisions. And then 5th Panzer, 31st, and 1st Armored, also anti-Darkneutron bands here. Like, a lot of tank divisions getting banned, making sense with the two maps, and also with the two players involved. So, a really pretty targeted pick and ban phase here. And this should be a fun one. As, yeah, the 4th here on the left side, 4th Division, bringing around the Layer 2A4C. On the other side, 2nd only gets the Layer 2A3, which has lower penetration than the normal 2A4B already, and also has lower frontal armor, so getting a bit outclassed in armor, but having a bit more variety in the rest of the deck. Having an IFV that has ATGMs with the Martyr, having a bit better forward deployment with the Fallschirmjägers, with Fallschirmjäger Milan 2s. On the other side, only the Recon KC Vercanners coming around as forward deployment, and they don't really want to fight. And yeah, iHawks on both sides available as well. Both sides having pretty good air taps. Tornado on the one side, F-16s, and F5 jets on the other side for Dutch. And the YPR here is bringing around a decent infantry unit as well. Panzer Grenadiers a bit better on the defense than the Dutch, but the Dutch having a bit more hit point and having the better AT weapon with the Carl Gustav compared to the later stages Panzer Grenadiers that you will see a lot of. The Fallschirmjägers having the Panzerfaust 3, that's a good AT weapon, but you only get that one card usually out of those. You only get them in the early game. Yeah, those tank engagements here will be interesting. Milan 2s and Milan 1s against only TOW 2s here on the other side. So the matchup has a lot of similarities. Both divisions play somewhat similar, but there are some interesting strengths and weaknesses that you can play to as either of those two divisions. And we have first F5 here, trying to deal with the Milan 2s most likely, but with the iHawk around, that could one-shot it. Oh, that could be really bad. Nope. Does whiff there, okay. F5 has to be really careful though, as the Leo 2A3 pushing forward, using that the Milan 2 did already do a decent amount of stress here and keep up coming. So we have a TOW 2 on the other side as well, so not a super easy push here for Darkneutron. Fallschirmjägers did get a lot of ground though, finding the KCT Vercanners already, finding the normal Vercanners now, and that is a big problem here now for Bloody Knight. Losing the center here, really annoying, and the Fallschirmjägers microing nicely there, getting away from the Leo, but the Leo 2A3 on the other side still gets involved. F5 doesn't get its bombs dropped. That could have been really nice, dealing with the Fallschirmjägers there. Now Leo 2A3 and Leo 2A4 here in a bit of a fight. Milan 2 does whiff. TOW 2 now getting involved, so the Leo 2A3 has to be careful. Yeah, has to smoke off. HE Bomber getting one of the Fallschirmjägers now. Okay, victory in the center now for Bloody Knight. Extra fire support should do the rest. South here, Darkneutron with good setup. All defense, Bloody Knight, similar things. BO105 does spot a good amount of stuff in the north, but good defensive position there for Darkneutron. But the F5 finally getting an important bombing drop there. The Ihawk not getting a hit. That is pretty big now. And the lack of reinforcements here currently in the center is quite annoying as well. Ooh, HE Bomber finds another good target there. BO105 spotting the Milan 2. Gepard was on the way to deal with it, but Milan 2 getting killed off there. Good target for the F5. F5A getting the hell out of there. But we have the Leo 2A3 here. Still rotating around. I like the double Milan, Fallschirmjäger Milan, or triple Fallschirmjäger Milan at this point actually. Set up here around, assisting the Leo 2A3, knowing that the Leo 2A3 will lose the tank fights on its own. So really helping out with those engagements. Yeah, Leo 1NL, pretty decent little tank as well. Oh, Fallschirmjäger getting her Panzer Infantry. Can they find the kill there? They are out of range. Leo 2A3 nearly going down. There is a Unimog. And the Leo 2A4C on the other side gets hurt as well. Milan 2 doing a good job, but out of ammo. One of them gets gunned down by a YPR. The other two here have to be careful. Good smoke there. So CV should make it into the middle. Gepard should find the BO105 here now. Yes, does find the kill there. The Milans need to be resupplied. Ihawk is being resupplied already. Panzer Infantry engaging in the middle. Panzer Grenadiers coming in. The MR13 ones without the MR13 as the 9 hit point infantry. No martyrs here. First MR10 on the battlefield. Both sides have access to the best artillery piece in the NATO arsenal currently, and maybe the best artillery piece in general in 1v1 currently. MR10 really powerful, especially thanks to the free vet that it currently gets. For 1v1 purposes, I believe Eugen should take that away. That free veterancy is really making it a good bit better than it maybe should be. And yeah, MR10 here now. Engaging against the Ihawks already. That's a good one. Great target there. Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer spotting them. And that will need a quick reaction from Bloody Knight. First one immediately goes down. Second one is really close there as well. Oh, both Ihawks down. Both Ihawks down. This is a money shot for Darkneutron, especially considering how strong the tornadoes of 2nd Panzer Grenadier can be. So, bad situation there. Ihawk of Darkneutron in a bit of a bad spot. Does find the F5HE though. The other one gets damaged by the Gepard here. Yeah, the line of sight with the forests here, not amazing for the Ihawks, but good way of moving it away here. And yeah, the Panzer Grenadier going down to one of them, that's fine if you kill the other one. So, important little kill there for Darkneutron once more, getting a good amount of tanks in. MR10 here, aiming for the Leo 2A4C, spotting that as well. That could get killed by a single salvo as well, especially considering that it is already damaged. The Fallschirmjäger Aufklärers here paying big dividends right now. YPR going down in the north, Leo 2A4 moving in, and the MR10 is firing again. If Bloody Knight is reacting quickly, that should survive, but no, first hit immediately on target. And the Leo 2A4 only now moving. That is the second Leo 2A4. That's the first Leo 2A4C down, but the second great salvo from the MR10. We have retaliation now coming in from the other side. That getting a Milan 2, not a bad kill, but obviously way less impactful than a Leo 2A4C going down. And Leo 1NL going down, CV going down here as well. The front line is really fragile now for Bloody Knight. Some really impactful couple of engagements here in the last couple of minutes for Darkneutron. Getting back into a game that already looked relatively rough after the first 3-4 minutes. Leo 2A4B here has a good side shot potential. Leo 2A3 does get one shot side shotted there on that range. Okay, important kill here for Darkneutron, for Bloody Knight. Retaliating. Second MR10 on the battlefield. that Layer 2A4B maybe should start rotating. Second MR10 is not aiming on it though. So it's only going to be one. And yeah, Layer 2A4B is rotating away from that spot. Good movement there. Knowing that it obviously is the prime target right now. Layer 2A3 on the other side doing the same thing. MR10 will miss with this salvo on both sides. Second MR10 could do its job. Panzer infantry here. Panzer grenadier moving in numbers. Self completely still right now. Leo 1A1s coming around. No Leo 1A5s here yet. MR10 not really achieving anything there in the north either. Milan 2 engaging the Leopard 1NL. Not getting a good hit. The canners rotating around. MR10 on the other side. Moving closer. Aiming for the Fortitude Mega Clovers, who have done so much for Darkneutron here. As the MR10s on the other side. Aiming for IPRs, but those are moving, so they should re-aim. Yeah, aiming for Leopard 1NL now. MR10 on the side of Bloody Knight, about to fire. Will get the kill here. Even if they start moving now, they shouldn't be able to dodge this next shot. Yeah. Kill is achieved. Leopard 1NL likely going to go down here as well. So now without the aimed shot, because the Fortitude Mega After was providing that. So might have a chance to escape now, but nope. Does go down as well. Both sides getting their kills here once more. MR10s really going to dominate this map. This is how you're supposed to play this map. We have seen a good amount of people trying to air spam lately on this map. It's always failed. Latest example being ZXCVster. And MR10s on this map, they are so powerful. They always pay off. Like, artillery in general, really, really powerful on this map, because there are only that many spots where you actually can have your units in. And you have to hold those spots, otherwise you give up too much ground, like these high rises and so on. Or this building here in the middle. So artillery usually always finds something to aim at, like this Leopard 2A4B up off here right now, for example. Really good reaction from Bloody Knight once more, moving away there. Yes, the Leopard 2A3s got pushed back. Leopard 2A3 not getting to engage the KCT Vercanners, and now it's Bloody Knight who gets in there. Who will take this? Unimog goes down. No second MR10 on the left side. MR10s over here now. Yeah, will whiff. Really good micro there from Bloody Knight. Letting the MR10s go into the emptiness. The Panzer Grenadiers will push forward. Getting around there to A3. Rotating through the north. Panzer Infantry Dragon shut down. South could be good for Darkneutron if Darkneutron pushes here. Bloody Knight playing a really risky game, investing all into the center, leaving the south really vulnerable. And if that falls, then the situation here would be quite different. But Darkneutron seems to be quite focused on trying to break this as well. Currently setting up the northern flank for the situation as too. Getting another Eyehawk up there. Oh, Leo to A3 gets hit. Second shot gets the stun. Third shot doesn't get the kill. Timely reaction there from Darkneutron, saving the day. MR10s aiming not quite on the layer 2A4B, but Bloody Knight might actually by mistake micro it in the wrong direction. If he falls back, he might actually fall back into the artillery fire. So currently Darkneutron maybe should focus a bit more on targets that he actually sees, and not just on spots that he might get on. Panzer Grenadiers together with the layer 1A1 finding the kill in the south here, pushing further forward. F5A coming around, but we have the Eyehawks. Issue for the Eyehawks is that they have to run immediately afterwards, because the MR10 might be on their heels. And the MR10 here should be fine with just eating up infantry right now, and shouldn't just Try to always get the enemy tank. Getting a good stun here. The tank is moving away in the right direction, but still gets got. Okay, so value salvo nonetheless for Darkneutron. Gets the F5 here as well. MR10 immediately aiming for the Eyehawks. Eyehawk is trying to get the hell out of there. Loading up in the forest does take a bit longer. And yeah, it is immediately moving away. Leo 283 is actually getting into the spot where the Eyehawk was just standing though. Might catch a stray here. Should not go down, but yeah, eats a bit of damage there by chance. And has to be repaired. Leo 283 and 1A1 numbers here are pretty decent. Darkneutron should focus on stopping the tick right now. Push in the south here could be pretty big. As the M110's re-aiming here. Panzer Infantry and Nantres being the targets. Leo 283, oh, gets hit pretty hard. Has to disengage there. TOW2 getting a good kill. M110's now going for infantry. I like that. Getting the Panzer Infantry in the north. Getting nearly the Nantres squad in the center. And yeah, as I said, I just would really like to see a kill on the south here, stopping the take. So 700 points advantage on this map is already a pretty decent one. 25 minutes absolutely give you enough time to get back there. And the control of the south is still lost to Bloody Knight here. The Nantres there were way too optimistic. And with the heavy focus on the center, like the south is easily taken over. But Darkneutron just seems to be as focused on the middle here. Tornado gets the Leo 1NL. With the two Eyehawks dying earlier, Tornado have a good bit easier time. Yeah, should be happy with that one kill. Gets out now. F-16A on the other side is a decent shotgun fighter with the two short-range AM9Ls. AM9Ls, one of the better sidewinders with decent accuracy and range and 5 damage, so that 2 of them always kill a plane. But unless it's an S-25 or A-10, their armor. Counter battery actually might work out here. Bloody Knight got a bit complacent. Artillery is split though, not both of them firing. Good micro here in the middle. TOW2 likely gonna survive. Leo 283 does go down on the other side, but no movement here on that MR10 right now. MR10 now tries to move, is stunned though, will be really slow, so the second shot might find it. Nope, second one is off target as well, and the stun will wear off, but the MR10 does survive. Fortunate for Bloody Knight. Yeah, you always need to keep them moving if the enemy has MR10s as well, otherwise you can get punished like that. Means that the reload time here for this is now a good bit higher as well, and so on, but that it stays alive is the important part there. Bit unfortunate for Darkneutron that it doesn't get the kill there. Aiming for the TOW2, and the KCD Vercanners finally pushing the south. Finally might realize how easy that is to take. So not with really any support here. Leo 1A1 only now starting to help out. Martyr should be here as well. This Leo should be there. This Panzer already could have moved over. TOW2 and Vercanner AT go down in the centers, so it's not like Bloody Knight can pivot into the south easily with the losses taken in the center. As then the Leo 2s and the infantry here could put some pressure up. Gets the second M110 here now. Out as well. Panzer infantry push forward. Leader being brought in. As we see one leader here now moving with the M110s. Having a follow order on them. As yeah, Bloody Knight still does a good job of not getting caught out here. I like the F-16 behind the enemy lines as well. Trying to get a tornado. As Darkneutron setting up a flanking push in the north here. Still focused heavily on X-ray. Bravo might be more viable here right now. Like, Leo 1A1 could just drive through. Obviously, that's something we know that Darkneutron doesn't know, but with the amount of investment into the center, he should be able to guess this. Oh, gets another good artillery shot there. Leopard 1NL and another unit went down there. I believe it was a YPR. Yeah, Recon YPR there getting shut down together with the Leo 1NL. So MR10's doing their job. The other one aiming for the spot where usually you see enemy ATGM, but with the two MR10s on the other side, Darkneutron also knows that the obvious spots are somewhat taboo. And a big reinforcement wave here coming in now towards the south. As I said, Bravo would be open. 21 minutes remaining. 1,000 points by now for Bloody Knight, so Darkneutron needs to get something going here eventually. But also just threatening Bravo forces the enemy to really position themselves weirdly between Bravo and X-Ray, so that you then maybe could just swing it back into X-Ray. But not having any real pressure right now in the south is a mistake. So good that Darkneutron finally catches on to that and finally sets up the pressure. A bit late, but still might be in time. YPR and Leo 1NL here. Engaging. Panzer Grenadiers should be already in this building. This Leo should already be here. Nantre going down. Panzer Grenadier pushing forward. Well, it's the center here being a big blob. Darkneutron always looking a bit clumsier than some of the other Division 1 players. By like really focusing on the front line and then buying in bulk. Like that's something that you don't see. Most Division 1 players have a tendency to always buy something each minute. Obviously, you sometimes need to have a bit of a reserve and you want to save up a bit, but Darkneutron really buying in bulk often, which actually is a rhythm that can throw off enemies as well, because then there comes a big wave of reinforcements in that is all coming in at once, like this big blob here right now, and that can catch enemies off guard as well. Panzer Grenadier, if it would have been here, could have gotten that YPR right now. Leopard 1NL got there. CV finally gets in here, will stop the take. The question is, does this push here in the middle now work out? MR10s on both sides, ready to fire. F-16 gets pushed back. We get a TOW 2 killed off here as well. Bloody Knight with a big reinforcement for the south, but it's not being a smooth one. Good couple of important losses there. And the reinforcements lately in the middle haven't been great. YPR here with the TOW 2. That is scary. Having another one already ready. Good smoke there. Leopard 2A3 could still micro against that now. This is between salvos, but is falling back and gets got by the 2A4B. Oh, 2A4B gets the Leo 2A3. F-16A cluster gets shut down on the other side. So both sides once more losing valuable units. Well, it's the MR10s here going after the next Leo 2A3. Without Leo 2s, Darkneutron will have a tough time pushing. Infantry here getting gunned down. Some of them in transport again. Panzer infantry engaging against Panzer Grenadiers. But the Leo numbers on the other side are still dangerous. Leo 2s, especially when you don't have any Leo 1A5s. And even those would not do so well. But the Leo 1A1s just don't do anything against Leo 2s on the other side. So this is problematic. The next F-16A cluster being wasted here by Bloody Knight. Ihawk plus Gepards doing their job. We have another tornado coming around. The lack of Ihawks on the other side, only one remaining here. That's a bit of a problem for Bloody Knight as well. MR10s aiming for a good position here. CV goes down. Leo 1A1s go down in the south as well. It's a really bloody battle right now. Both sides a bit in over the head right now. YPR goes down. Can the Leo 2A4 escape? Oh, it goes pretty low. Leo 2A3 on the hunt. Does not have line of sight though. No recon units right now helping it out. Leo 2A4B on the other side pushing forward. More 10s on both sides. Currently not aiming. Tornado could come around here for the south as the M1A1s. The 1A1A1s got pushed back. Ooh, next Leo 2A3 going down. We are down to only one on the battlefield. Here comes the 1A5s. Here comes the Jaguar 1s. YPR does finally go down. Leo 2A4B here pushed back. Command 1 pretty low as well. Martyr getting involved too. Still a 1,000 point lead here. Another Leo 2A4B here in the south. Martyr getting overwhelmed. Panzer Grenadier with the Panzerfaust 44 getting a decent hit. And getting the kill. Genie and Nantre trying to push in here. They're 1A1 moving around. Milan 2 should push further forward as well. This Panzer Grenadier still should move to these buildings here. As the M110s need to get involved again. Fallschirmjägerführer is getting towards the center. 1A5 pushing forward as well. This Leo 2A4B is pretty low. But 1A5's here not engaging quite in coordination. Still good enough to get the kill there. M110s not quite getting the hits. And the front line here in the center collapsing for Bloody Knight. Still has a 2A4B there, but not getting it repaired. Another one in the north. The northern flank in general is super vulnerable though as well. CV not around right now, but rotating. Tornado still a scary opponent here. The CV over here did get killed though. Darkneutron only on a +2 now with the capture of the middle. Their 1A5s retreating to get repaired. Martyrs rotating around. MOR10s trying to get good engagements here. Cheetah being forced back. Whilst we have more YPRs with big reinforcement waves coming in for the center. But the two Leo 2A4Bs, they are now the key units here. If they go down, then there is no push potential here for the 4th Division either. That's the issue with 4th Division. It is reliant on the Leo 2A4s completely for its push power. Oh, iHawk being put out into the open. That will enable the MR10s to get on top of it again. And then the Tornadoes are basically completely free in this matchup here. Especially with the iHawks assisting them against the F-16s. Oh, iHawk under fire. MR10 finds the kill. iHawk does go down. The Leo 2A4B nearly goes down as well. Down to 1 hit point. Will take a good while to repair and recover its stress as well. Panzer Grenadiers moving around. The +2 here will get Darkneutron on a similar level as Bloody Knight in points. So Bloody Knight kinda needs to stop this still. Panzer Grenadiers moving around. Leo 2A4B gets figured out. One of the issues for Darkneutron could be a lack of CVs. We have seen a good couple of them die. Still has the Fallschirmjägerführer in the center and the one CV here in the north. He's trying to figure out more things with the Fallschirmjägers up north. And absolutely has the air dominance now with the kill on the iHawks. And more 10s on both sides trying their best. This Leo 2A4B here is under risk of dying now as well. The other one being quickly repaired now. Good micro there. Gets stunned but doesn't get killed. Even gets routed there, so the Leo 1s here can have a bit of time with the YPRs. As the Fallschirmjäger should spot that. And it's also a bit stuck there because it can't really retreat where it wants to go. So just stuck on this edge. Panzer Grenadier killing off more YPRs. The YPR situation here not working out for Bloody Knight. Fallschirmjägerführer has to be careful. MR10s are still around. Enough firepower here with Leo 1A1s and Martyrs and Jaguars to keep the south contained as well. And Darkneutron is pushing up further. Leo 1A1s getting to engage the Leo 2A4B here. Do miss a good couple of shots. 4 shots missed there. Really lucky for the 2A4. It's 0 vet Leo 1A1, so that's why. They only have 55% accuracy. But still lucky times. Fallschirmjäger might still see that. But still risky to push into it. With the Leo 1A1 stressed out. But it does get the kill this time. And Leo 2A4B going down is a big loss here. Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward. Leo 2A4B in the south goes down as well. Leo 1A1s coming in for the kill. And Darkneutron going for blood. Leo 2A3 rotating around here. M577 under fire. Jäger Aufklärers moving forward as well. 1A5s pushing in. Panzer Infantry, Dragons under fire in the north. 1,177 points for Bloody Knight. Has stopped the tick right now with some smoke play here with a YPR, but is about to lose the northern point. is about to lose the Southern Point likely as well. There is no CV for it right now. So, yeah, Darkneutron has to be careful. Jäger auf der Fallschirmjäger Führer down to 1 hit point. He can't afford to lose that most likely. Seeing that he hasn't brought another CV around. But this capture in the north is a big one. And yeah, the CV in the center can only hold out for so long. They're 1A5s. And the Jäger Aufklärers here will try their best. Deal with this. Jaguar getting involved as well. Leo 1A5s together with the Jäger Aufklärer really could hunt this down. Oh, YPR coming in with the Jäger Aufklärer being really stressed out, but the Panzerfaust 44 shot still would kill them. Tornadoes whipping twice with their Maverick ATGMs. Pushing out the enemy. ATGMs coming around in big numbers. 1A5 pushing around the flank, getting a good hit, but getting killed. Next one coming around, finding the kill, pushing back the YPR. YPR getting pushed back further by the Jaeger, gets killed. So that's the middle captured. That's going to be at the +4 here. Oh no! No. Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer, Führer, you still need to capture the zone. Yep, there we go. Then you have to be careful rotating around. North fully captured. +4 is more than good enough. That's 160 points per minute. With still 10 minutes remaining, that's 1,600 points. That's nearly getting to the or is actually getting to the 2,000 points here now for Darkneutron. So this +4 would be good enough. There is still a CV here, and there is still a chance that this is the last CV for Darkneutron. Okay, artillery not quite on target. Nearly got him there. Has to be careful. Nantres spotting stuff here still. And there is still that Leo 2A4B leader pushing in. Panzer Grenadier is moving around. And then it would be down to that one CV in the north. We haven't seen a new CV out of Darkneutron. Darkneutron tried to get one more into the south. Didn't get it there. Fallschirmjäger Führer here still has smoke. Needs to move around. Panzer Grenadier moving in. MR10 not quite getting after the enemy there. And yeah, Panzer Grenadiers here with Panzerfaust 44s not dealing a lot of damage, but over time still should whittle down the enemy here, especially with all the Marder fire support as well. That Fallschirmjäger Führer is just not allowed to die. Oh, needs to smoke itself off. Yeah, needs to get the hell out of there. MR10's not firing at it. MR10's on the other side, not firing right now either. Jaguars moving around. Panzer Grenadiers in numbers. With their Panzerfaust 44s now engaging. Getting the first cheetah. Marders should get the second cheetah here in no time. And the 024 leader routed and pushed out. Gets down. Now the Panzerjäger Führer can get back in, can get the +4 back online, and now there is no CV on the other side either. So this should now be game. As with the +4 here, the tick for yeah, should be high enough, and there we go. GG. Darkneutron getting the first one against Bloody Knight in a really contested game, but in the end, really good artillery play and a focus on the key points and the reaction in the south, where Bloody Knight was just built up a bit too little, getting the W there, and then the counter move in the south of Bloody Knight just completely falling apart. Plus the double Eyehawk kill. That was big as well, enabling the airplay here for one side and shutting it down basically for the other. So really the MR10s here for Darkneutron kind of winning the game. The ones on the other side were not bad either. They weren't quite on the same level. So yeah, Darkneutron showing that he still has teeth. For him, it is more about not getting demoted next season though. His first couple of games didn't go so well. For Bloody Knight, it's still about getting to the playoffs, and he needs some points here. So let's see if he can get them in the next game, or if Darkneutron can ruin Bloody Knight's chances for the playoffs and keep himself in Division 1. Quick break, guys, and then we're going to be back with game number 2. And here we go. Game number 2. Bloody Knight now on the second guard. Motostralki, the London Guard division, versus HVS coming around for Darkneutron. And that is a pretty interesting division as well. Relatively powerful once more currently with M1A1s and so on. And the M1 base M1s, the M60s all working out decently. Rangers being in a decent spot. M110s obviously being amazing. So a really solid motorized division. Doesn't have IFVs. That's going to be a big problem on this map against the division that has BMP2Xs. BTR 80s here, good. APCs as well, that can be impactful on this map, that also can be pretty useless depending on how it plays out. And I'm really interested to see how the tank matchup works out, with one side having the heavier start with T-72s, and then going all the way up to this bad boy. Oh, I didn't expect to see it in the opener. It is the heaviest tank currently in WARNO, the T80U OBR 89. It has 21 frontal armor. It has the 11 hit points thanks to the era trait, and it has a 21 penetration gun. In the penetration plus frontal armor stats, the M1A1HA still beats a bit, but on top of all of this, it gets a 25 penetration. Pretty fast flying ATGM in the Invar, and that on top of the already second best base stats there, with the extra hit point, you could argue that it is on par already with the M1A1HA. That just makes it the best and tank in WARNO by stats alone. It obviously costs that much as well. 345 points are a lot. And yeah, it outclasses the M1A1 on the other side by a good bit. It has 1 more penetration, and it has especially 3 more frontal armor, meaning that the M1A1 can't penetrate it on max range. That's going to be annoying to play around. That is going to be quite annoying to play around. Well, LRS is here moving in. On the other hand, if you can get MR10s on it, if you can get a good plane on it, like an A10 with 80 gems, then this KDU can also disappear really quickly. So it's a pretty important key unit here now for the rest of this match. If it can stay alive for a good while and get into good positions, then it absolutely can let Bloody Knight run away with it. If it dies early, then it also might just be Bloody Knight's downfall here. And whilst on the other side, Darkneutron wants to play for the South here. LRS coming around, Bradley is coming around. We have a Mi-24K coming out early here. And that might be quite annoying here for HVS, as they don't have any forward deploy AA. So, and their recon units are relatively expensive. Losing LRS to that helicopter would be painful. Losing the Bradley would be devastating. So that is a bit of a problem. We have an iHawk. We get some mech rifles here around as well. And yeah, before, as both sides still are in the deployment, one more quick shout out here, guys, to the Matcherino page, where we crowdfund this whole tournament, and where you can assist crowdfunding it as well, and you don't even have to pay anything. You can add 25 cents to the prize pool by just clicking the claim code button here on the side. And we already are on the second bunch of 50 codes. If you used to click the first code, you can do it again with the second one. So yeah, thanks there for Pibbat being the latest here coming in. 18 codes already claimed again. Couple of dollaroos here laying around for free that we can add to the prize pool, and that will be paid out to real players in the end. Also, this season around, there is an anonymous community member who will equalize, spend the same amount of money and give it to the amazing charity Action Against Hunger, up to $1,000 that we get in prize pool. So you indirectly also support charity by clicking the claim code button. So if you need extra incentive to use that 1 second there, maybe you can find it now whilst we are getting into the action. Mi-24K here coming in. There is an F-16 on the other side, but there are also 2 Su-25s. Full on focus on the north here and getting the center. from Bloody Knight. The LRS getting caught out. SU-25, SU-15 getting in deep. We have Eagle and Stinger and Ihawk being deployed. MiG-23 getting shot at. Can the Ihawk find a kill? Ihawk who misses there on short ranges. That's a bit unfortunate for Darkneutron. Good micro there with the F-16 baiting the enemies close. Both sides keeping all the planes. Mi-24 getting one important kill here. And might even get more important space. Important that this F-16 is coming in. This second F-16 makes perfect sense. You need to get rid of that helicopter. Oh, it stayed alive for now. No plane on the other side. An OSA instead. Mi-24 still alive. Still might be able to do a bit more. Yeah, mech rifle law there. Just getting shot up. That is highly annoying. M1A1 is getting closer. F-16 will find the kill now. And now should just get out of there. Mech rifle law getting killed off by the BTRs. Recon unit needs to come around to enable the M1A1 to deal with that Conquerors, but the TADU OBR 84 is around. We have Center and Dimitri falling to Darkneutron basically for free, but on the same side, Bloody Knight is getting towards Anna here most likely, meaning that likely long term for the first couple of minutes there won't be a tick as soon as the CV gets down for the south. But position here for Bloody Knight is a pretty comfortable one, with the center Citadel of 1, the Conquerors in there, like not even having to invest any infantry units in there. That Mi-24 really doing its job. Scouts here on the flank, that is quite key for Darkneutron. BTR is coming in to try to kill that though. The 901 and the M1A1s should try to deal with that. Okay, we have an A10 coming in already. OSA on the other side. Rangers need to get the hell out of there. Might even want to push this. Is there a spot on the TDU? Yes, scouts should see that. Good hit, but the OSA does retaliate immediately. MiG-23 coming in from the north. Ihawk is ready. Stinger is ready. A10 does go down. Ihawk once more missing. No luck on the Ihawk shot so far. Finally gets it. Gets the MiG-23. MiG-29 immediately comes around. Good hit here, but a frontal hit against the TADU, so it is still alive. Forced to repair. Might enable the M1A1 and the M901 to rotate a bit in here again. Do a bit of work. Whilst the Rangers here, they should be active. They should start trying to get into the center or at least clear out this part of the map. BTR 80 coming in for the Stinger. F-16C. Firing a Sparrow. Have a BMP-1 rotating around here. Bradley rotating around too. Ranger. Finding the BTR. BTR not smoking. Will go down. Super high accuracy on this Dragon 2. Fire team coming around next. Humvee being pushed back. The fire team law. So yeah, really small one. Doesn't come in its Bradley transport like it does in other divisions. Oh, Bradley here. Okay, good smoke there with the BMP-1P. Bloody Knight realizing what's going on. As the 50 cal here did spot the situation. Mi-24 key unit to bring around here. Deal with that. F-16 can't really dive here right now. With the MiG-29 still around and not stressed out enough. So the Mi-24 on paper should deal with this. MP1 gets gunned down. Mod Rajvetka will stay alive. F-16 here trying to find an angle, but with the MiG-29 and this being the modernized MiG-29 with 40% ECM, space there not really for the F-16 to try to get in. 16 gets a Sparrow out. MiG-29 does go for the infight. Does get one tapped by the Ihawk, getting critted. OSA might retaliate. Yes, OSA does retaliate. Still a good trade there for Darkneutron. Those MiG-29s are key. Scouts being pushed out here though. Mi-24 and BMP rotating around, and Darkneutron hasn't found a way yet to get the north back. ADU still out, so M1A1 should take its time and the momentum that it has here to get involved. We have the supply truck on the way. Currently, there is room for the M1A1 to work. Obviously, we know that for sure. Darkneutron should at least try to test it out. Next M1A1 coming around, I believe that should go here. So that you have one in the north and one in the south flanking. Frontally, they don't do much against the TADU, as I said. Side shot wise, they still will do devastating damage against it. So being able to flank it would be big. LRS get found out. Mi-24 getting involved. Once we get a Hawk on the other side, MiG-23 and Su-15 around again. iHawks did do a good job so far, but Stinger and iHawk here around. iHawk does find another hit. Might get another shutout. That I don't believe will hit. Yeah, too far. But the Hawk is still alive. The iHawk does push a MiG-23 out for a long time. Oh, Conquers. Does find the CV. Keeps the tick alive. Ranger Dragon here in really big danger. There are still a couple of rockets, and the 12.7mm autocannon could do a good job there. Yeah, Ranger Dragon in trouble. Helicopter in a good spot there. And with the Su-15 behind all of this, the Rangers can't rely on an F-15 coming around saving them. Have a Potok and the BTR coming around. 50 cal Jeep won't be able to survive against BTR. And the Ranger Dragon here in fire as well. That means that Darkneutron now needs to put up pressure in the north. That's the second M1A1. Can't afford to be as passive as he is right now, though, with the situation in the south deteriorating so quickly. The Mi-24, they're really a great investment. MiG-20, Su-15 and F-16 do trade. That's not a good trade for the player in blue. That's a bad one. But at least still gets the kill there. Mag rifle here, yeah, just getting overwhelmed by the Mi-24. Second F-16 comes around. Maybe should have waited to have two of them around in the first place, though. Or sending in the first one. Then chances would have been a lot higher than that he wouldn't have lost one. F-16 coming around, killing off the Mi-24. Mag rifle Dragon here. Still will have a tough time getting through, but with the pivot and the Hawk, okay, the Hawk could enable it. Hawk coming in there for the south. M1A1's here. Still a bit in trouble. Ranger Dragon here, not in a great spot. ADBU moving forward. There is a recon infantry unit inside here as well with GSR, with Special Redka. 901. Trying to find shot against the BMP-2. That smokes off though. Mag rifle Law getting in. Hog gets shot down by the MiG-29. But doing its best to push that back. The infantry in the south at least went down. More Mag rifle Law coming around. Another M1A1. There is only one of the TADUs here. With good micro. That is something that you can overcome. Hawk here. Nice investment as well against the Conquerors and so on. But this won't be an easy one. 1A1's rotating south. Southern M1A1 getting around as well. MR10, great investment. Getting after the Conquerors with that would be big. Oh, TADU gets hit hard. That's what Darkneutron needed to actually get a really good push in here again. MiG-29 pushed back as well. Might even get an A-10 on target now again, though with the OSA here. And we saw how that worked out for the first A-10. Like, that's the only plane that the OSA is fantastic against. Outside of that, it's a decent short-range AA, but often doesn't quite get the shots out before the enemy drops and doesn't usually get the second shot out in time to actually have a chance of killing. This matchup, it's a bit different. Artillery, MR10 here. On target, M109. 901 gets the BMP2. Kill on the BTR. Badetsi go down as well. MiG-21 cluster gets one tap by the Ihawks. Okay, Darkneutron is cooking. Darkneutron still down against the +4 right now. That is the bad news. Rest of the fight here currently going pretty decent. Mech Rifles just need to stop moving here right now, and then they can actually use their law to kill the BTR-80. Yep, get the BTR-80. And the M109, an M901 and the MR10 here, together with the M1 Abrams, should enable the push that actually can deal with the T-80U. CV under fire here right now, the Potok. Not even quite sure what that is. That's like... And yeah, T-80U getting damaged, has to smoke off. Like it's a BMP without a real gun. I'm not quite sure what the fake gun or like that it has in front is for. Really interesting looking vehicle. Goes down though. CV on the way. M1A1 got the better of the out of the fights here lately. M901 going after BMP2 now. Gets the kill there as well. Conqueror's getting involved. But the M1A1s, all three still alive. One was heavily damaged, but still made it out here. Acacia really close. Ooh, Conqueror's being the next victim of the MR10. MR10 should get a bit closer to the front line here in the future to actually get accurate shots and have a bit less flight time on the shots as well. But the M1A1s here getting this area of the map back. South, though, Bloody Knight did do a good job. And north, he still has the key unit. He still has the T-80U OBR-89 alive. Ural will likely get shut down there. Won't get captured at least, but still there, still annoying. Losing a relatively full supply truck. M1 Abrams CP coming around here for the south. Hog and Pivot and Mech Rifle here still a relatively good combined arms. The Ihawk did help out in the air. So Darkneutron just needs to get the pressure on here. Needs to stop the take. 1000 points on this map. Quite the advantage here for Bloody Knight. But still 26 minutes to play. We are not even at the halfway point, and second guards here currently not looking that stable. Darkneutron with the M1A1s here playing a really good game. And M1A1 here keep on pushing. Gets the Conquerors there with the MR10. Interesting position to shoot at. Yeah. Has spotted it likely with the scout there in the north. Finds the BRDM Conquerors. EDU 89. Relatively alone now. Still has a couple of Conquerors assisting it though. Rangers being pushed back. Lack of recon here right now. A bit annoying for our player in blue. And yeah, the infantry here a bit stranded. M1A1s need to get involved. MR10s need to get involved again. As the M1 CP is rotating around. Mech Rifle Dragon up here in a decent spot as well. Together for Mech Rifle Lord, the M1 CP can get a decent push through here. The Hawk in a decent spot as well. MR10 going after the Conquerors. These MR10s should get a lot closer to the second one already. He is moving a lot closer now. LRS on the way, that is a key unit here as well. On the other side, the tank numbers going up though. 2 T-64s and T-80U now. MP2 goes down in the south. M1 CP now could just get in there. That's obviously something we know. That's not something Darkneutron knows. Plus Cluster Bomber could always come around. So you have to be careful there. Hog in danger. F-16 could come around here and help. Ihawk not quite on range here to get a shot out. And F-16 not coming out in time here either. MiG-23 falling back to a safe space. Should just get out of the map now. Modvedvedka here is still a problem. EP can come around again. Reinforcements here coming in as well. Acacia not really finding something of value. Modvedvedka goes down. EP tank can get in there. Won't stop the tick as there's a Potok on the other side, but everything else here is empty. So the victories here in the south for Darkneutron pretty big. Just needs a way to fully get through this. T-72B1, OBR-84 moving in. We have the M91 rotating around to the north, trying to get into a better spot. And two M110s can just ruin the day of this part of the map completely as well. LRS now enabling the M1A1 to see a good bit more in the center here as well. Let's see, getting under fire. Two of them already dead. Infantry fights into this will be easier as well. Let's see now, trying to disengage. Spätzle being evacuated as well. Resupply needs to come for the second M110 here. Then those guns should be used again for more action. Akazi on the other side, aiming down towards the M1 CP. Won't kill that one either. Cluster Bomber could. T-64Bs and T-72s absolutely obviously could as well. So the tank number is now escalating for Bloody Knight. That's a danger for Darkneutron. And I feel like Darkneutron is currently playing a bit too slow. Not quite using the advantages as good as they could have. Two M1A1s here in this. Oh, side shot by the Conquerors. That is pretty bad. Second M1A1 getting involved. Lamia still around. 110 in the north. Aiming for a weird spot of the map. Guess has spotted T-72 there a second ago. Not there anymore. We see a TOW 2 coming in here as well. BP2 in a good spot. Machiki actually might catch it. Okay, Darkneutron, yeah, repositioning the unload. That's a good choice. Still might get caught by the Machiki. No, gets out just in time beforehand. ATGM being evacuated there immediately though. Machiki moving out as well. More 10. Actually, final shot might hit the Machiki. Okay, Bloody Knight realizing that as well. Good micro there. Artillery trying to catch the M1A1. Won't catch it. M110's on the other side. Going for one spot where the Conquerors is, one spot where the Conquerors isn't, but that's fine as well. Getting the kill there is key. Whilst M1A1 here in the south could get involved. Would have a good chance here. Oh, Cluster Bomber! Gets one. Ihawk here not in the best spot. Gets shot out. Doesn't get the kill. Pivot doesn't get the kill there, but MiG-29 at least goes down. Meaning F-16 should have a better time. Ihawk gets another kill. All fighters down. F-16 comes out a bit late. Okay, M1A1 down. That's annoying. 2 planes killed for it. That's good. The Conquerors goes down in the middle as well. So trade still up here for Darkneutron. Still has to find a way of profiting from it. Point take still going the other way right now. Point take is still going the other direction, and Bloody Knight is actually setting up in a good manner to profit from the kill on the M1A1 and clearing out the south here again. Infantry of Darkneutron with the engineers is pretty decent, but the M1 CP can't really stay here. Akacia aiming for the infantry here is big as well. Gets the mag rifle law before they could get reinforced. More 10s aiming for the CV. Slightly off target. Still might get the kill there. Getting good hits against the T-72 as well. And yeah, get the CV. That will stop the take for now. That is pretty key. Darkneutron needs to focus here a bit further on the south. And more 10s generating a lot of value. Aiming for more in the center. Second one currently reloading. New mag rifles coming up. One Abrams coming in for the south, but there is a T-64 over there. Inter Dragon. The engineer for Flash. Flash currently not reloaded. Should reload, and then this could be an easy push out as well. 19 minutes only though. So Darkneutron needs to really start to make the good trades lately into actual gains. The Guadetzi here, Maddie is likely going to go down as well, but needs to really focus more on the point game right now. Ooh, Mech Rifle Dragon going down in the south.
GG!
M1A1 pushing forward. Not quite GG yet here, Lanik. M1A1 pushing forward. Celery coming in for this Petrotredka. Conqueror is not being spotted here. Petrotredka able to disengage. More tens. Need to stop focusing on the KD. Need to start focusing on getting the tick online. Maybe breaking the north here. Some more aggressive plays with the M1A1s need to be taken. The KD for sure is in favor of Darkneutron at this point. Brings 2 more M1A1s here in. The issue is, even if you capture both of the 2 points in the south right now, that might not be enough anymore. Focus, I feel like, should be on just dominating the north right now, but that's not how Darkneutron is playing it right now, and that might just cost him the game here, no matter how good he plays on the south and how good he plays in the trades, because he might just not have enough time to get the points anymore. 17 minutes. For now, there is still chances. He still even has to worry about the enemy maybe getting a +2 for a while and getting to the 2,000 points. But yeah, not being back here in the center certainly is a problem. MR10s did whiff this time around. M1A1's pushing forward. And Bloody Knight keeping up the take. Engineer Flash getting out. M1A1 being hurt. Next ATGM coming around. Smoke does keep it safe. Recon situation here, not amazing for Darkneutron here. Finds the BRDM Conquerors. T64 next target. 2 M1A1s absolutely should be able to push through. He needs to take more risks. That's one of the issues of Darkneutron. He is a risk-averse tank player. He wants to get big plops up, but you also have to use the big plops. And this plop is big enough now to be used. And F-16's in the sky, staying around for it. M1A1's here, getting around. And the positions currently, Darkneutron has done a good amount of good trades, but hasn't really captured any of the key positions with it. And that's the key problem here right now. Could have even given up some of the trades for capturing the positions, but that didn't happen. The MR10s here now getting involved, getting the Plamia. Likely getting Saperi RPO relatively low as well. Okay, Plamia actually does survive. Saperi RPO doesn't. And yeah, these units all should push forward now. But there are a good amount of defensive units around here now as well. Center was reinforced with annoying units from Bloody Knight as well. Still, the north is absolutely something that you can destroy with 3 M1A1s plus the 2 M110s plus an A10 or so. Hog, all of those units really good. The Hog could do a lot of work here as well. But yeah, Darkneutron, 15 minutes. It's gonna be really tight. Back Rifles pushing forward. Bloody Knight is doing the best to keep the take up, to not fall further behind in the trades, but most importantly, keep the important spots of the map occupied. M110s going after the T64. M1A1s pushing forward. RS and Ranger falling back. Yeah, the push in the south here, as I said, I don't think that this is where you win this game actually as Darkneutron. Oh, another Mech Rifle Dragon being wasted, and yet too many reinforcements flown into the south. Not enough in the north, and the north is where you win this game as the blue side. With the MR10s, just one good salvo into this forest, and this forest just completely cracks. M1A1 goes down here. Cluster lane goes down in reverse, so trade-wise, that's still once more okay for Darkneutron. But getting into the grindy fight down here just keeps him completely away from where his actual win condition is right now. Ranger Dragon does go down. And with 14 minutes, still a +1. Might even, with the cluster bomber killing one of the M1A1s, have to worry about losing this part of the map again. Obviously, if he would hold the northern zone over here, he wouldn't have to worry about that. And instead, currently, yeah, the reinforcement leaking into this part of the map didn't work out that amazingly either. M1A1 holding the line, Toe 2 going after the OSA. Will get the kill there. BMP2's going down on numbers. OSA goes down. T72 pushing forward. M1A1 doesn't have a good fight there. Engineer Flash is still holding on. And one Abrams has to be careful. The other one got repaired. But these ones here, yeah, finally they're moving. Finally, Mech Rifle Law is moving. Finally, Darkneutron realizing that he might need something else. MR10 aiming onto an okay part of the northern zone. Not on the right one, though. This is usually where you see the enemy supply and the enemy tanks sitting. It's not where they are right now. With them revealing themselves, you should switch around. Ooh, T80U actually gets immediate kill there. The plane should have come with this. M1A1 not getting the kill, both going down there, and the artillery not hitting the target. Infantry did push a bit too... or the tanks followed the infantry a bit too early. And that led to this issue, and there we see the GG. Yeah, with the two M1A1s going down in the north, this was over, and with that, the Bloody Knight taking game number 2. Darkneutron was ahead a good bit in points. Like, before the two M1A1s dying, he was ahead over 1,000 points there. But he just couldn't really make it work on the battlefield. Like,
it was at this moment that Nathan knew. He fucked up.
With that, Bloody Knight getting the second victory here. And that also brings us to the end of Division 1 group stage, where we have quite the interesting little situation now, as we will get into the playoffs next week, and Bloody Knight with that draw, securing the spot in the playoffs over Cheesh, as you know he had 3 draws, 1 victory, only guy who got some points out of Babblegun, or not quite. Babblegun also had 1 draw against Tortic, but yeah, only 1 to get all the way there. Darkneutron still getting demoted because he only had 2 draws, so lost against Tortic, and so would have needed a win here in the series. Group B, really weird points here. Griffin with 2 clean wins, Hippie with 2 wins that were 1 win, 1 draw, and then 1 draw, and one of those being against Griffin, who got 1 point out of one of the losses because of that. Being lower in points, even though it on paper looks like he should be higher, but because of the actual games here, Griffin going up into the playoffs here. VLA Star having the draw against Hippie, so outside of that 3 clean wins, and Pasta here being demoted, losing the important match against Snow Wolfie that decided about that. And in the Group C, Fortitude fans losing against Team and Place in the last game of the group stage there, but winning against Nocturna, winning against Jeremy, and drawing against Bendover, who got 3 draws, 1 win, was good enough here to still get him in as first in the group. And then Bendover following him in there with a really, really good show once more, winning against T-Man there, if I remember correctly. And that being the deciding factor why T-Man couldn't quite make it out here. And yeah, really, really important victory there. Getting a draw against Jeremy. And yeah, T-Man also getting a draw against Jeremy, meaning that ZXCVster here. Hopefully we'll see him in Division 2 next season again. And then we have ProCommie and Stardeck in Group D. the two favorites out of the group making it through. Greyhound here having a bit of a tough time, but obviously with those two in there, and it is not easy to get around. And yeah, Greyhound getting a draw here out of Static, but losing against Kochane and Doozy, costing him the Division 1 slot next season. But Doozy here with that victory against Greyhound, that key victory, getting to stay in here in Division 1. But the interesting one will be the final stage here, where we have Static versus Bubblegum, the match that we had a couple of times in the past. Gonna be interesting. Fortitude fans versus Griffin, I'm really excited to see those two play out. It's just like WAStar versus Bendover, and then Procomi versus Bloody Knight. I'm a bit worried for Bloody Knight in that matchup, because Procomi is just a slight bit cleaner, but maybe with some good openers and some clean strategies, both of them are just like all-around clean mech players usually. Should be interesting as well. Yeah, the Static versus Bubblegum one will be pretty explosive, with Static usually trying to win by opener, but Bubblegum also being one of the clean mech players here. Fortitude fans and Griffin having amazing range currently. So I'm pretty excited to see what kind of matches we're going to see there. And then Relay Star versus Bendover, both performing really well this season. So I'm not sure. Like Relay Star, likely the favorite at the moment, but Bendover is so good as well. So quite excited to see how that works out outside of the really tough group that Bendover had already, where he just made it through. And how much the Relay Star results matter, though obviously with the win against Griffin really showing that he is a really hot shot as well. With that said, let's have a look on Division 4 here as well. Quick look there, where we see Super Chavi this season around making it through, playing against Chem Warrior. Broken as Spaghetti versus Faced Plasma coming around on the second playoff stage game there. Punk's Not Dead versus Tommy Salty. Tommy Salty finally making playoffs here too. And then T55 versus Ed Killian in the last one. Out of these, I would say that Face Plasma and T55 currently are my favorites. But all of them had really solid learning curves and performances. So quite interested to see how it goes. Obviously cheering for Super Chavi. Great to have a Eugen member in the tournament, and good to see him this time around making it. It was really close last season. Was barely not making it. But this time around he will handle it. And yeah, with the other two, we will have to be back tomorrow for seeing final situation there, as I believe Division 3 is not quite ready yet either. Yeah, there's a couple of matches still missing. Once we have those, we will see how this all goes through as well. So that said, thanks for watching here for today. And yeah, we will be back later tonight, most likely with our Army General. And yeah, for now, thanks for watching. We'll also do an analysis video in the next week about the group stage performances and the divisions and so on. So that's going to be interesting as well. And the maps and so on. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for the new follows.